It's okay, chill.
I did not. No, I did not. I did not appreciate that ass whooping one bit, Ron. Let me just put that out there. No, I did not.
But see, chill. The beautiful part about it is we don't even got to get into that because this is a basketball podcast,
Okay.
and Kevin Durant, the goat himself, Kevin Durant, has climbed to 6th all time on the scoring list. And the real question, Mars, is how high will he go? Or how high can he go? We will talk all about Kevin Durant, what it's taken for him to get here, what he did last night, what he may potentially do this season. And obviously, y'all, we got to ask the serious question. Is he the best scorer of all time? But also, too, we got a weekend recap. There were some things that happened this weekend. Ant, 55 points versus Wemby, 39 points. But who actually played better and who actually won? And then there's still rumors that Giannis Antetokounmpo may demand a trade. So teams like the Warriors, the Lakers, the Heat, the Hawks, the Knicks, they're all stockpiling their assets in hopes for Giannis. Also today, fellas, the All-Star starters will be named. Who will it be?
Wow.
We'll talk about that as well. Darius Garland, J-Dub, Steven Adams, Sabonis, they all have injury concerns. We'll talk about that as well. And we have top 5 comments of the week. Fellas, it is about to be a good episode. Are you ready?
Let's do it, Ron. Let's do it. Absolutely. Let's get it.
Kevin Durant, y'all. 6th all time.
Mm-hmm.
6th all time.
Yes, sir. I think
I'm going to go ahead and share this.
The conversation is going to get really nasty when he moves to 5th all time.
And to be honest with you,
going to get crazy.
I think he's going to pass. Yeah, I think he's going to pass Jordan, not Bryant. I think he's going to pass. I think he could pass Jordan by the end of the season, and I think he can. I think he's going to pass Bryant next season. KD came along during the revolution of the long ball, and when the game was actually changing. Like, I don't think we give guys like Dirk Nowitzki nearly as much credit as we should for changing the game as a bucket getter, as a big guy on the wing, because big guys weren't really doing that. So when Dirk Nowitzki comes in at 7 foot, that's playing on the wing like that and playing in the mid-range and shooting the long ball, I think that opened up the door for guys like KD to be more of a bucket getter and not and less of a box player. And I just think that he expanded his game as time went on. Not only did he expand his game as time went on, he expanded his game in every aspect. The guys were shooting the long ball. Okay, I could do that. Playing one-on-one on the perimeter against smaller guys, being able to handle the basketball, I can do that too. Being able to put you on the box, I can do that too. Because he did that in the Golden State Warriors system, where with the ball moving, they played through him on the block, and he was able to hit turnaround jump shots, one dribble pull-ups on the box. That was working. So I think that KD's game stood the test of time as a bucket getter. And I'm not, and again, we're not talking about KD and overall as a player. We're just talking about him as a bucket getter. And I feel like his game has stood the test of time as a bucket getter. And I think he has a legit argument as being the best scorer in NBA history. I personally think it's Jordan, but I do think that he has a legit argument for being the best scorer in NBA history.
I appreciate the fact that he's super ethical about how he does it. Like
what does that mean, Penn? I mean, because the reason why I'm asking you that is because, I mean, I do understand what the narrative is about being ethical. Part of being a great scorer is outsmarting the defense. And if I could get your best defender off me by getting him in foul trouble and getting to the free throw line, I mean, that helps our unit. And then that helps me as a bucket getter, because now I got your second best defender on me. Or now your defense may have to go to zone, which is also conducive to my game. So I it's not like I'm doing something illegal. That's when I think about ethics. Like, it's not like I'm doing something illegal. I'm not sure that I'm following you there, Penn.
I mean, grifting may not be illegal, but it feels kind of gross, doesn't it? When a guy
grift.
You think?
Say it again, Moss.
KD used to grift for sure. The rip-through rule was in part because of him. He was grifting his ass off. He just doesn't grift as much now, but KD used to grift. Grift crazy, by the way. KD led the league in free throw attempts a few years. It's not like he was this downhill machine. He got to the rim, but he was swiping through, doing all that nonsense. Like that's what KD used to do. Like KD used to grift.
Mhm.
So
I
I
don't,
don't know.
I don't think his grifting has ever touched the level of some of the top scorers. Like I don't think he's ever done it to the level of Harden. I don't think he's done it to the level of Shea.
Mhm.
You know, every great scorer to some extent initiates contact
Sure.
to force fouls. I get that, right? You're trying to land into players. You're trying to initiate contact on a drive. You're trying to maybe lean into a guy to force them off balance so that you can get free throws. I understand that. I don't know if that's grifting.
What is grifting in your estimation? To
really
you, what's grifting?
That's a really good question. I think it kind of comes down to how much of what is being called are you actually responsible for? And is it more than 50%?
Mm.
Sometimes a guy will just be standing there with his arms up, right? Or like even with his arms slightly askew, like maybe out of place a little bit. And a guy will almost get him and throw his arms through his arms and make it look like a foul. And then he'll flop on top of that. He'll fall down, look like he got shot. I feel like KD didn't get to that level where it became unbearable to watch. You think
so,
KD's
Mars?
a flopper, Mars?
The reason why I'm thinking that, Mars, here's why I'm thinking that. The reason why I'm kind of where Penn is with that is because
that was like KD's signature. So I don't know.
Well, here's what I'm thinking. First and foremost, Mars, as an offensive player, you as a defender, when you're crowding me, I have a right to create space. That's my.
I agree. I don't think grifting is a problem. I just don't agree that KD wasn't doing it. Like I'm not using that to.
And I don't think that's
bash
Penn.
KD. I just think that's what he did.
And I don't think that's Penn's
defenders
point,
had their arms out and he's going through them, and then that was KD's go-to move to get to the line. Like that's what he did.
But I don't think that's Penn's point. I think that I don't think he's not saying that KD didn't grift. I think that there were guys who were doing it a lot more than KD, and they were taking it a little further than what KD did. Which
you
would
have to
explain
also
why
understand that
KD got a rule change, so I don't know.
I've watched KD for about 20 years with very rose-colored glasses. I think that has to be stated here as well. From 2006, 7 till about 2020, this was my favorite player in the league, period. And it was not close. I would not listen to a LeBron versus KD debate without telling you that I thought KD was better. So to me, it's like maybe I need to go back and watch some of this stuff. Maybe I need to look at myself in the mirror and be like, did I just invent a lot of stuff where I was watching the things that I wanted to watch? Are my memories of memories maybe reloading some of the bad parts of KD? I defended his move to go to Golden State. I thought I was the only person in the whole world that was doing that at the time. I was like, no, it's good for basketball. KD's just trying to explore his, he just hates Russ. So yeah, that might be it. This might just be KD fandom talking. Like if you listen to me talking about Scotty Barnes today and you're like, man, Penn sounds really stupid and really delusional. You should have heard me talking about KD like 15 years ago.
What makes you
worse?
What
thank God Player's Choice didn't exist.
This is what we talk about, Swiper, when we talk about intellectual curiosity. What makes you an elite bucket getter? You play in the NBA. What makes you an elite scorer?
Part of it is drawing fouls.
Putting the ball in the basket, that's not enough because DeAndre Ayton can put the ball in the basket.
I said a lot. I didn't just say put the ball in the basket. Let me finish my sentence.
Put
the ball in the basket a lot.
Okay, so Russell Westbrook put the ball in the basket a lot. Is he an elite scorer?
Yes.
And what makes him an elite scorer? Just because he put the ball in the basket a lot? Is that it? Is it just that simple? No, nothing in between.
A whole lot.
Because we got
That's
guys.
That's not the prerequisite.
Oh, absolutely. You have to score. I mean, I think that goes without saying, Mars. You have to score. But what makes you that though? Like that's the point to put the ball in the basket.
Well, I mean, there's different ways to do it. Some people do it with physical dominance. Some people do it with craft and skill. Some people do it through rule manipulation and all like that's what makes basketball like such a great sport. It's that there's no one way to be elite at something. There's more than one way to be an elite playmaker, more than one way to be an elite scorer. That's why the only like true answer is you have to be able to put the ball in the basket a lot against any type of defense. That's the one catch-all. But the way in which you do it, like Giannis does it differently to Steph Curry. Both of them are elite scorers.
Sure.
Kevin Durant does it differently to Jokic. Both are elite scorers. Russell Westbrook did it different to Kyrie. Both were elite scorers. Now we can say who's better between the two. Like, that's fine conversations to have. But at the end of the day, teams couldn't stop Russell Westbrook in his prime from getting to the rim, getting to the free throw line, scoring 25, 30 points. Teams couldn't stop Kyrie from dancing on you, getting 25 points. Teams couldn't stop Steph Curry from running around on 25 screens, getting 30 points. Teams couldn't stop Kevin Durant from scoring from all over the floor, getting 30 points. Teams can't stop Giannis from getting out in transition, dominating downhill, and getting 30 points. Teams couldn't stop Shaq from posting you up, bullying you all the way under the rim, getting 30 points. Like, that's what makes everyone so special, is that they're all elite, but all doing it differently. So I don't think there's a way in which you have to do it.
That explanation right there, it sounds to me like now we have a preference. So if that's the case, then what makes one guy better than the other? Because the point is to put the ball in the basket. And if I'm scoring at an elite level, and I'm, whether it's getting to the rim, whether it's cracking the long ball, whether it's I'm a master at the mid-range, whether I'm great at finishing at the rim, I'm great in the mid. What makes me better than this other guy? Is it the aesthetics? Is it the numbers? What makes Kevin Durant a better scorer than SGA? What makes Devin Booker a better scorer than Anthony Edwards?
I think I have a good answer for this. And it comes down to multiple factors. Number one is, how many defenders are you a mismatch for? Like, how many people can successfully get...
So versatility, essentially?
No, mismatchability, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, how easily can I stop you? How many players on an average team are even a good matchup for you? Because that's going to dictate a lot. Because if only one player on every single team can even remotely stay with you, like, let's just say, like, we got Tamani Kamara, that's the only good matchup we have for you. Well, now it's a lot easier than, I don't know, if I have 5 defenders or 4 defenders who could successfully guard you, because now you're going to have a lot more difficult time navigating the pick and roll, trying to force a switch for a bad matchup. Now, once you get the matchup that you want, now the second part is how quickly or how alert is the help.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Sometimes you see Luka, he has a quote unquote like a good matchup, or let's just say KD is a good example. We're talking about KD. So let's just say Kevin Durant is going up against the New York Knicks, and obviously Mikal Bridges or OG Anunoby are the only guys who can even stay remotely in his stratosphere. So he's going to obviously look for a switch on Jalen Brunson or Karl Towns. Now, how alert is the help and how quickly do they come? Now, the third factor here is, how successfully can I beat the help? How do I see it? How do I navigate it? How do I manipulate it? And how can I beat it? Now, I think with KD, he usually beats it with minimalism. He'll just shoot over it. You know, he's not going to get super fancy with it. He's not going to dribble 500 times and try to get around it. He'll just beat it. Like, when he was younger, he'd go to the rim a lot more, but now it's just like, everything is very simplified to like 3 dribbles. And then the fourth and final thing is, when the help successfully is able to stop me, how am I able to beat the third layer of the defense? And that's like those tough shots. So I think a player who's really great at this is Kyrie.
That's why I thought that Kevin Durant, when he got to the Warriors, even though I was really critical of it, I really liked his game, off the strength that the shots that he was getting when he was playing with Golden State was the same shots he was getting when he was in Oklahoma City, except he only had 1 guy hanging on him as opposed to 3. And he didn't have to do nearly as much, but he still was ridiculously effective. And the other thing that I really enjoy about Kevin Durant's game in terms of being a bucket getter is how much his game has changed with the time. Like, a lot of guys, to Mars's point, you know, putting the ball in the bucket is the ultimate thing, right? At the end, you got to put the ball in the basket. But when the game changes, we've had conversations plenty of times up here about how guys, their game is falling off because the game is changing. Ja Morant is a prime example of that, even though he just went for 40 a couple of days ago. But because the game is changing, guys can't adapt their game to what's going on. The game might be moving further away from the basket. The game may be becoming more physical. And because it's becoming that, can you adapt to that? And I feel like KD, what people only look at with him is they look at him today. Like, I implore a lot of people, go watch some film of KD in like 2013. Go watch some film of KD in 2015. Like, I know the KD that you see today, and then go watch some film of KD in 2021. The craftsman, how crafty he was, and the fact that he had to compensate because he tore his Achilles. So that burst that I used to have, I don't have it anymore. I got to get back. I have to get back to being more skilled. And I just think that his game is a testament to how awesome he is in terms of him being able to change with the times.
Fellas, I want to ask a KD question. What's his greatest asset in terms of scoring? Or you could even say on the offensive end.
Consistency.
I think it's his size, to be honest with you.
I was going to say his size.
Yeah,
I mean, size is obvious. I think consistency goes beyond the obvious. Like, this is a guy who has never not averaged 25 points per game since his rookie season.
Is it obvious though, Penn? Because I mean, there's a lot of 6'10" guys running around. So there's a lot of 6'10" guys running around who have good skill sets. I think KD, because of his size, he maximizes his skill set.
Yeah, it's like a size athletic combination. Like KD's a rare mix of 6'11", 7 feet, fluidity, in control, coordination, and then like the speed that he used to have, the speed, explosiveness. Like we've never seen all of that in conjunction. KD is like if you make a 6'8" wing, 7 feet. Like that's like the way in which he moves, and that extra 4 or 5 inches of height is a big difference for like shot quality, all of that type of stuff. So I think his size with everything he can do is what makes him like the cheat code, I guess.
And then you add in the stuff to your point, Ron. You add into the ball handling. You add in his ability to create space and how he gets the shot off, even with his size. Right. Then you add in the athleticism. It makes him. It literally makes him impossible to deal with.
Yo, I know, Penn. I know you said it's his consistency, which I think that's a good answer. Mars, Chill, you guys both said his size. I honestly think it's his shooting ability, and I know that kind of is like, oh, well, that goes without saying. I don't think so. Like KD, he shoots better than your average scorer would shoot, and like obviously, like he has the size, he has, the athleticism too, but KD's damn near 50, 40, 90 on his career. Like that's ridiculous. That like nobody, point guards don't do that, shooting guards don't do that, small forwards don't do that. Like you don't see people from you can go any height.
I guess.
You could go any height. 6'3" guards don't normally do that. 6'7" guys don't normally do that, let alone a 7-footer. And so, like, obviously, you could throw the height in there, you could throw the consistency in there because you got to be consistent to shoot 50, 40, 90. But, like, to me, it's just that his shooting ability from anywhere.
Ron, would he, because of his shooting ability, would you factor in his ability to not take bad shots? Would that help? Because I think KD was a tough shot maker. I won't argue that KD was a 100% tough shot maker. But I think people don't give KD enough credit for how smart he was as a shot creator and shot taker. I don't think KD. Maybe it's because I think that there are guys who take bad shots. KD didn't take a lot of bad shots, and they didn't look like bad shots to me. Let me rephrase that.
I think that's because it's KD.
So in 2018, 2019, Kevin Durant he played 78 games in the regular season. He had a grand total of 4 games where he shot below 35%. He had a
4
total
games
of
the entire season.
4 games the entire season.
Wow.
He had 9 games total where he shot below 40%. The vast majority of his games, which is over 50 games that season, he shot above 50% from the field.
Yeah.
Not true shooting, 50% from the field total. And this is with high volume 3-point attempts. I think Kevin Durant's ability, why I said consistency matters so much, is you can go through most mega scores that you're thinking about, from Kobe Bryant to LeBron James, and you can find a lot of these 35, 34% games, even with Luka and Shea. Like they happen.
Sure.
With KD, he just finds a way to get to like his 45 to 50%, from the field. He just gets there.
The reason why I look at it as him not taking bad shots, because one, his length and his ability to get off the ground when he's shooting the basketball, it didn't look like a bad shot. So if he's 18 feet away from the basket, going to his weak hand and falling away, that doesn't look like a bad shot to me, as opposed to a guy that's 6'2", that's falling away shooting that kind of shot. With KD, one, you couldn't get to it. Two, he's basically shooting down. It just looked way different from him. And I want to say that with him moving up this scoring list, and I don't know if you guys have heard me say this, but I've said this in the past. With him moving up this scoring list, I feel like I think that this is validating him as being one of the best scorers, if not the best scorer of his generation. If you're going to do this, this is the kind of list that you should be on. Because when I'm top 5 all time in scoring, when I'm top 3 all time in scoring, like we talk about you different, especially when you've done it for such a long time. Like KD wasn't just a scorer for 8 or 9 years. KD was a bucket getter from the door. And he's been a bucket getter since he's been in the league. And we're in year 18. And how many years has KD not been an elite scorer in your estimation?
1.
Just the year he was injured.
I was thinking maybe his rookie year.
Probably his rookie year. It depends how you feel about 09 KD. Yeah, it depends how you feel about his second year, if you would call him elite by that point. But by year 3, it's undeniable.
Right.
I think he led the league in scoring in year 3. So I mean,
yes. I don't know where you were on KD at the draft in 2007, but
Greg Oden was the guy that I was on. I was not on KD.
So 18 years ago, I made a video mix. It's called Kevin Durant, the number 23. It's on YouTube, weirdly enough. And the disclaimer to that video is, in 1984, the Chicago Bulls drafted a guard from North Carolina with the 3rd pick in the draft. That player went on to become the greatest player of all time. He was the face of the NBA for nearly 15 years. And since his retirement, the NBA searched for a player who could make people believe they were witnessing greatness every time they watched him. A player who could capture the imagination of the league once again. A player who could carry the torch. 23 years ago, the league was gifted Jordan. 23 years later, they were gifted Durant. That is to say, this is not surprising that he is about to pass Michael Jordan. This was supposed to happen, but it's crazy the way it's happened. It's crazy. Like, if at that moment you told me that he would go and join a 73-win team, that he would win 2 titles, I don't know what I was expecting at that point, but I got to tell you, I expected him to go to Seattle. I expected the Sonics to stay in Seattle. I expected him to bring like 6 championships to Seattle.
Oh,
that's what I thought. Yeah. Yeah, me too.
Oh, is that where the origin of the hate story started?
We're not doing that today, Real Talk. We are giving flowers and praise to people that deserve their flowers.
I simply ask you a question. Number one, good morning to everyone. You know what I'm saying?
Good morning, Mr. Talk.
Thank you.
Good morning,
It's been a lovely
Mr.
weekend.
Talk is crazy.
It's been a lovely weekend over here in Houston, man. Been with family all weekend. We celebrated my mom's 60th. You know what I'm saying?
Okay. Congrats.
Been a great weekend. I've enjoyed myself, but let's really talk about it. You know what I'm saying? So yet another modern day wing that Jordan never had to play is about to pass him up on the scoring list, right? We've already had Kobe Bryant do it, LeBron James did it, and now Kevin Durant's about to do it. And that goes to my theory that I was trying to inform you all about, that y'all didn't want to listen because y'all are stuck in your ways. You know, you can't teach an old dog like Chill new tricks. But fact of the matter is, KD's the better scorer than Michael Jordan.
Tricks, actually.
And KD is probably the greatest scorer of all time. 7 feet tall, right? Can handle the ball, can shoot from all areas of the court. Had the athleticism pre-Achilles tear. I don't really know why this is so hard to come to grips with for a lot of people. You know what I'm saying? But it just is what it is. He can shoot over everybody. He can go by everybody. He had counters. He could be a dominant force in transition. He had to pull up 3. He can finish over the rim. As Chill likes to always say, he can finish above the rim, below the rim, mid 3, 90% free throw shooter on top of that. This is the greatest scorer ever. So shout out to Kevin Durant. Also passing another scorer that MJ didn't have to play, in Dirk Nowitzki. So shout out to KD.
Real talk.
Duck was in the league. Don't do that. Duck was in the league. Duck was in the league.
In the league.
Yeah. Duck is in the league. Don't do that.
You know what I
Duck
mean.
was in the league.
He wasn't
I don't know what you mean. Duck was in the
with
league.
Michael Jordan in the league. He wasn't peaking at 93. Okay, he wasn't. Come on now.
What does Kevin Durant do better than Michael Jordan, in your opinion?
We don't. If you need me to answer that question for you, you need to turn on
free throws better.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. You came up here looking like a NASCAR driver.
Was that the best you could conjure up?
Breathing into your microphone.
I actually want to hear this from Real Talk. Why is Real Talk?
And now you're like,
I didn't know there was black NASCAR drivers. I didn't know that.
It is.
He's the first.
He's on Jordan's team, as a
He's
matter of
breaking the
fact.
ground.
Yeah, one of them is on Jordan's team, as a matter of fact. But back to Real Talk. Real Talk. Yeah, on Jordan's team. But with that being said, Real Talk. That's a very interesting question. Why is KD a better scorer than Jay?
KD's a better scorer than Michael Jordan because of the 3-level ability, right? So if you look at their shot making ability in the mid range, even if you take MJ in that category, which I'm not going to argue too much against, that's still far closer than their ability to shoot free throws and their ability to shoot from the 3-point line. Not to mention that even if you were to give Jordan a little bit more rim pressure, KD in his prime is still one of the all-time great finishers at the basket as well. So if you look at shooting from all 3 levels, the 3-point line, the free throw line, you also look at the array of ball handling moves. Now you could attribute that to rules and the allowance of a little bit more carrying, as Kevin Durant definitely carried on that little hezzy move, you know what I'm saying? But who doesn't nowadays? But he had a hezzy, he had a cross, he had a double cross, could beat you off the dribble, more efficient. And again, the element of the 3-ball, I think, is what takes it up a notch. Now, chill. I know the argument is that MJ has these ridiculous scoring outputs in regular seasons and, of course, the playoffs. But then again, if we just go production for production,
who had more help?
I'm then going to ask you, who is he out there playing and getting guarded by? And then that's going to turn into a whole nother conversation.
Who are they playing
with? But it was harder to guard. It's harder to guard Jordan than it is to guard Kevin. Or no, it was easier to guard Jordan than it is to guard Kevin Durant because you can't touch Kevin Durant. Michael Jordan. Defenders literally could put their hands on Michael Jordan, push him. You
couldn't pre-help on Michael Jordan.
Real talk. Yes, I don't think you no. So look. Okay, but I'm saying like a lot of people can't comprehend this. So real talk. Come PC weekend, we're gonna play 1-on-1. We're gonna play one game where I can't touch you. I literally can't touch you. If I put my hands on you, if you swipe through, if you initiate the contact, it is a foul on me, and that's a point for you. Then we're going to play another game where I can legitimately hold you. I can forearm you. I can bully you. I can push you. I can rough you up. And then I promise you, you're not going to be able to dribble. I promise you, you're not going to be able to score. I promise you, when you load up to get your shot and I swipe down and knock the ball away from you, you're going to be frustrated. And then you're going to see it's 2 completely different worlds. You're not going to need help.
In 2016, I would have cut you either way. But I mean, now. I think you got that's not the point, real talk. The point I'm trying to make is it is completely different to try to score when somebody can hand check you. Hand checking is literally night and day. Why do we act like people don't hand check?
The games are online. I don't know what to tell you. The games are online.
By the way,
why do we act like people don't hand check? Do we not watch Lou Dort? Do we not watch Casey Wallace? Do you not watch Nickeil Alexander-Walker? Do you not watch Ant when he guards up?
Real talk.
I watch Kawhi.
Wait a minute, though. Real talk. Yes.
You said what?
Wait a minute, though. Real talk. Yes. We're talking about 2025, 2026. Rewind the clock years ago. You weren't able to do that stuff. Like they started to implement more physicality in the game in recent years. That wasn't going on 8-10 years ago. Don't get me wrong. Guys are putting their hands on guys more today than they were years back in years past. And guys were taking advantage of that. Now, when you talking about a guy being able to be a 3-level scorer, I mean, I can't argue that Kevin Durant is a 3-level scorer. And what I don't want to get wrapped up in, real talk, is I don't want to get wrapped up in what he is today. One of the main reasons why I talk about Kevin Durant as one of the best scorers, because I think about what he was in years past and what he was for a long time. That's what I'm thinking about. Like I just said before you came on, like go look up some film of KD in like 2013. Go look up some film of KD in 2014, in 2016, in 2017, and see what you're looking at. Like a different athlete, a different mindset, playing in a different offense.
You know what I want everybody to refresh their memory on, because sometimes your memory of your memories are bad. Chat and everyone out there, I want y'all to go and look at the free throw attempts that Michael Jordan was shooting, as Ron is telling us that you could be so physical with Michael Jordan. Also want y'all to go back and look at the documentary about the Dream Team where Magic Johnson comes in a photo. No, excuse me. Magic and Larry are taking photos. Michael Jordan walks into the room, and the first thing that Magic says as Michael is about to join the picture is, hey, you know you can't get too close to MJ. That's a foul. So we're not going to sit here and act like Jordan wasn't consistently at the free throw line over and over and over
why
and over
he was
again.
consistently
We're not
at
going to
the free
sit
throw
here
line?
and act like Michael Jordan didn't
why was
get
he
more
consistently at the
touchdowns
free throw line?
in the league
Jordan
than
rules.
everybody else.
Why was he consistently at the free throw line?
Because
that is
they
a terrible point
never-
to bring
Yeah,
up.
the superstar.
I watched
That's a
Memphis
terrible point to
defend
bring
Kevin Durant just as physically, but I guess
Exactly.
we need a,
Go
I guess we
watch
need a
Tony
documentary
Allen guard
about it.
up
I
on
don't know.
Kevin.
That is a
Yeah, I guess we
terrible
need a
point to
documentary.
bring up because Jordan's game was a slasher. My game is putting my head down and going to the hoop. He literally did that every time he touched the ball. Of course, he's going to shoot more free throws than Kevin Durant. That's
Like I said, the games are online. I don't know. People
Just
go
to
watch the
let you
game.
know,
Form your
like-
own opinion on the fouls Michael Jordan is drawing, and tell me how
on their
He had a
career,
he had a
they're-
favorable whistle,
they're
but a
almost
lot of
That's
every-
people.
I don't need
First-
to
first
convince
and
anyone or
foremost-
whatever. Just go watch the games for yourself and form your
all
own
First
opinion.
scores,
and foremost,
Chill, you don't have
really
to do
quickly,
this.
Ken.
All scores have
You don't.
favorable whistles. Ooh,
Not only do they have
newsflash.
favorable whistles-
Kobe
yes,
Bryant
all
had a
of these
favorable
dudes-
whistle.
All of them.
Newsflash. SGA got a favorable
And
whistle.
still ain't got a favorable
Newsflash.
and
Luka
still ain't got a
Doncic has a favorable whistle.
He's gonna take-
and still
Newsflash.
don't got a
Hakeem
whistle.
Olajuwon. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar.
Steph
Larry
Curry doesn't.
Bird. Even Magic Johnson had a Steph Curry definitely
Steph
has
don't
a
have a
favorable
whistle.
whistle.
No, he
No, he
doesn't.
does not.
This man
He
was
does.
averaging less. He had times averaging less than
just,
3 free
you
throws.
could
a
have just
game.
left Steph out of it. Guys like
Yeah, we'll
Kyrie
leave Steph
leave them out of it. Like not
we'll
all
leave
of them
Steph
have
out
great.
of this.
Not all of them have great whistles. But your overarching point of superstars tend to get favorable calls. Yes, everyone agrees with that.
Yeah,
Like I said,
that's
just
true.
go watch the Michael Jordan games and tell me how drastically different you think the physicality is. And also, I just want to make this abundantly clear: don't just watch playoff games. Watch regular season games too, because I can tell you, even in this era, we know the physicality in the playoffs ramps up. But when we talk about this era being soft, it's always regular season games. So go watch a random Michael Jordan game from December 14th, 1987, and tell me how physical the game is. Don't just watch him play against the Pistons, who we saw 3 times in the playoffs. Go watch him play against the Dallas Mavericks in 1988. Go form your opinion based on that game. So this is the thing, right? When players get revered in history, people either look at stat sheets, or they'll go back and watch, but they'll only watch the iconic moments. They'll watch the double nickel against the Knicks. They'll watch the great series. But when you're not watching more of the overarching point, which is regular season games, playoff games against lesser opponents, playoff games against great opponents, then you see the more of the whole picture. So don't just watch playoff games against the opponents who were the best defenses in the league. Go watch him against some of the lesser defenses. See the physicality there. Go watch him in some of his bad games when the jump shot's not falling. Go watch as much of it as you can and form your own opinion on how great Michael Jordan's whistle was, how amazing the physicality was. I'm not going to tell you it was otherworldly physicality. I'm not going to tell you there was no physicality. I want you to please go watch the games for yourself and come back, maybe send a super chat, maybe leave a comment. I read the comments and tell me what you thought about the physicality that Michael Jordan was subjected to. Tell me how many hand-checking fouls you saw called, because I can just speak for myself. I see a bunch of hand-checking fouls get called from that era. But apparently, let some people tell it, you was allowed to do it. So I don't know what I was seeing when I was seeing, oh, that's a hand check. I don't know. Maybe the commentators were mistaken when they were saying, oh, that's a hand check.
Okay.
Maybe I was mistaken. I don't know. Just go watch the games for yourself and come to the conclusion of how physical you think the error was. When you're seeing one-on-one coverage, tell me how physical they are. Are they pressing into the ball? Are they forearming people? Just form that. And not just on Michael Jordan. Watch the league. How are they guarding Magic Johnson? How are they guarding Larry Bird? How are they guarding Kiki Vanderway? Go watch it and form your own opinion. Please, that's all we can really do, because we're going to go in circles. Ron's going to say it was more physical. Real Talk is going to argue that the physicality hasn't changed that much. No one's going to achieve anything because we can't watch film up here. RIP playback. But you guys can do it for yourself. That's the only way that is going to get solved. You watch the game for yourself, form your own opinion. And I'm not telling you to agree with me or agree with Ron or whatever, because everyone is entitled to their own beliefs. Just go into it open-minded and then come back and say how you feel about the physicality that allegedly was there or allegedly isn't that different.
Physicality or no physicality, whether you believe it was heightened, whether you believe it was low-end, whatever it is. It's without a doubt the 90s and the 80s were more physical than today, whether you want to agree with it or not. However,
The
let's say
80s
it's
were
not.
That is a lie. You just lied.
However,
what we have a tendency to do,
y'all
real
see a
talk, this is
closeout
no.
in
This
every
is what we're doing,
third
real
game and
talk.
say it's
We're
more physical.
romanticizing what was and making it more than what it was. What we're not going to do is we're not going to make it look like it wasn't physical. Don't forget where flagrant fouls came from. You can't do that today.
Oh, wait, who was it that was complaining? Yeah, who was it? Who was it that cried to the league about needing something done about flagrant fouls? Because they didn't exist. Who was it?
It was Jordan. And wait. The reason why it was Jordan was because of
Interesting.
The
complaining about physicality.
The reason why that was going
I
on.
would be too if I was getting hacked every night.
The reason why it was out of control.
People are out there trying to kill me every night.
Kareem used to complain about physicality. It's crazy. All these all-time
because they're out there getting killed every single night. I'd be complaining too.
Killed is crazy. Y'all just say this stuff like it's a fact.
Real talk. Did you not see Kirk Rambis get clotheslined?
I did not. Oh my God! Chill is literally saying what I said. I said y'all saw a clothesline every third game and attribute that to the physicality throughout the totality of these games. Look at the 80s; they're just running up and down the court.
Imagine if to justify the physicality in this era, it was like, you see Draymond Green,
exactly,
and that's nuts too. What Draymond Green is doing?
Obviously.
That's nuts. What Draymond Green is doing.
You see Draymond Green put Rudy in a chokehold. That's what's happening in this era all the time. Like, God damn, every night we knew it was risk. Someone was gonna get put in a chokehold tonight. You see Grayson Allen. You see what he be doing to people. Oh, hey, this league was scary. This league was dangerous.
Okay, so okay, wait a minute. The physicality that we
chill,
have.
I'm only saying the 80s, 90s, and 2000s. I'm with you. I think to me that's the most physical era. I'm just disputing the 80s, but
when the game's slower, there's more room for physicality. It's not rocket science.
There were things that there were things that you could and could not get away with. There had to be the whistle, and on top of that, don't leave out in the 80s. It was only 2 referees instead of 3, which means that there was a lot more that I could get away with 2 referees than I could with 3 referees. Right. With that being said, there wasn't flagrant fouls, so the physicality that led to fighting. That's where the fines came in. Right. So okay, we have to do something about this because guys are getting forearmed. Guys are getting snatched out the air. Guys are getting put on their back. And I ain't just talking about Jordan. The reason with Jordan why this thing ended up what it was because Jordan was the future of the league. And we got to have this guy around. So in order for us to have him around, we got to circumvent the rules. We got to make this, not circumvent the rules, I'm sorry. We got to change the rules. We got to lighten up on the physicality. We have to have this guy on the floor as opposed to having him getting slammed on his back. As opposed to him getting roughed up by a team like not just the Detroit Pistons, but there were plenty of other teams like Terry Cummings was doing that to Jordan. He was roughing up Jordan. The 76ers were roughing up Jordan. There were plenty of teams that were roughing him up. That's why, to your point, he complained to the league like, wait a minute. But then he also recognized that I have to get stronger because this is the way the game is being played. I got to get stronger. I got to get tougher. And I got to be able to play through a lot of this physicality because even though I am getting the whistle, I'm not going to get the whistle every trip. That's not going to happen. I am going to get the whistle, though.
I think the argument needs to be that Kevin Durant barely shot fewer free throws than Michael Jordan on his career. If you look at their per possession numbers, if you look at their per game numbers, they're separated by like 6%. 6% differential, 7% differential for 2 players who are so wildly different in terms of drawing contact. I think that gap should be closer to 25 to 30%. That's kind of where I'm at. So maybe we're stretching it a little bit, but I think we don't have to speak in black and whites. It doesn't have to be so like, okay, the 80s had no physicality or the 80s had this otherworldly physicality. I think there's about 2 calls every game that Jordan should have gotten in a modern era that he didn't get back then. And I'm someone who's watched a lot of Michael Jordan going back. Like I've watched a lot of playoffs, regular season, and I also saw a lot of it because I'm a little bit older than some of y'all. So, just remembering that stuff, there's probably like 2-3 extra calls that Kevin Durant would have gotten that Jordan didn't get. And I think that that's a big gap. The other thing that I think is a big gap between these 2 players that has to be factored in is turnovers. I think for the amount that Jordan had the basketball, the fact that he turned the ball over as little as he did, is a testament to his superior passing in this argument and just generally his better court processing. He saw a lot of help at the rim. He could have easily turned the ball over. He made a lot of passes at the last second. People forget he basically played point guard a season. For him to have as few turnovers as he did with a guy who handled as much usage as he had, then the other part of this that has to be factored in when comparing these two players is the help that they actually had. The players, the quality of shooters and spacing that they actually played with, and how packed the paint was when Jordan played. Now, whether you want to talk about like hand checking, physicality, whatever, we cannot disagree that there was a ton more physicality at the rim when Jordan was playing. So what makes a jump shooter less effective is the help at the rim, because it takes away options. Durant played in an era where the paint was wide open, or at least a lot more wide open than when Jordan.
He was playing in a wide open paint in OKC.
More open. So
why? When nobody's guarding Andre Roberson, how?
Okay, nobody's guarding Andre Roberson. Is anyone guarding Russell Westbrook? Is Russell Westbrook a more talented offensive player than anyone Michael Jordan?
Side.
Yeah, okay, you're going to bring up Andre Roberson. Do we want to go through Michael Jordan's list of teammates? You want to bring up one guy?
Don't do that.
You can go through whatever you want. The difference is the way the rules were set up is you can manufacture spacing.
Exactly, you can manufacture spacing
on the floor. Whereas in the modern era, once you get past 2000, is it 2002? They outlaw it 2000, something like that.
2002, Mars.
Thank you. Once you get to that point, you start seeing teams like the Boston Celtics in 08 pre-rotating, overloading the strong side. You couldn't do those things back in Michael Jordan's era. So non-shooters became even more detrimental as opposed to what they were. Like, go watch how Charles Barkley used to operate. They used to manipulate the hell out of the illegal defense.
Exactly.
Because Charles Barkley, this is what would happen. And you can watch the games. This is documented. You can see it.
Go watch
Charles
it,
Barkley
please.
would get the ball on either the right or the left wing, right? And because of the way illegal defense was set up, you either couldn't cross the free throw line, like you couldn't go below the free throw line or across the midpoint of the free throw line if your matchup was standing above or it
was basically cleaning out the whole left side of the
So basically, the way the Sixers and especially the Suns would operate was they would put all of Charles Barkley's 4 teammates. So Charles Barkley's on the right wing. They would put all of Charles Barkley's 4 teammates around the left side of the floor. All of them. That includes the Kevin Johnsons of the world who couldn't shoot. All of them would be on the left side of the floor, and every one of Charles, their defenders would just sit and watch while Charles Barkley backed down for literally 20 seconds from the 3-point line to under the basket with no double team in sight, because either you had to send a full double or you had to just watch. You had to just watch Charles Barkley go to work. That's what would happen. And Charles Barkley would walk into 67% true shooting because he was allowed to do that every time down. Now, when teams would send doubles, Charles Barkley would pass. They would play out of it, blah, blah, blah. Like, I'm not saying doubles never happened. And also, teams could circumvent it. They could sneak their way, start sneaking below the free throw line. Hakeem was really good at that. Scottie Pippen was really good at that. Teams were able to circumvent it. But the principle of it was that was what you were allowed to do. So when people bring up the lack of offensive talent in those eras, coaches were able to scheme spacing for players who couldn't shoot. Ben Simmons would get guarded at the 3-point line if he played in the 1990s. Not because he's a threat, but because if he stood there, you were obligated to guard him. So when we talk about guys like Kevin Durant in OKC and the lack of spacing he had with Kendrick Perkins and then Andre Roberson and Serge Ibaka didn't get guarded and Steven Adams and all of those guys, you were able to pre-rotate. You were able to load up to the ball. You were able to play in the gaps. All of that was allowed. When you played in the 80s and the 90s, that was not allowed. You were able to clear out a side for your best one-on-one player, and you literally either had to send a hard double or watch them go to work. So go watch the games. You will see the teams that actually manipulate that rule to the fullest have some of the greatest spacing you'll ever see.
Absolutely.
It's ridiculous the amount of one-on-one opportunities they get.
I definitely seen that because the whole left side of the floor gets cleaned out. But with that also being said, even with the rules being manipulated today, isn't that even with the rules being changed, with teams like Oklahoma City, we're having guys like Russell Westbrook. We're having guys like Kevin Durant. We're having guys like Serge Ibaka who are great finishers around the rim. Well, wouldn't it be more conducive to speed the game up? Because even though I got a bunch of guys who are really good one-on-one players, right? I got a bunch. I got a bunch of one-on-one. I got a bunch of Russell Westbrook, great one-on-one player. Kevin Durant, great one-on-one player. Serge Ibaka, great finisher around the rim. Had a really good mid-range game. Could knock down the mid-range, but also really good in transition. Right, so it would be more conducive for me to speed up the game. I say that to say, Mars, that if I'm manipulating the defense where I can clean out the whole left side of the floor, I mean, I am manipulating the rules, but it's also good coaching too. But I feel like the same thing could be said. I feel like the less can be said for Kevin Durant because you weren't manipulating. I don't think that you were manipulating the rules because even if you can pre-rotate, to your point, real talk, I still got to get action. And I can put Andre Roberson in spaces where he can be effective. He's not effective at the long ball line. He's not effective in the mid-range. So you know what I need to do? I probably need to start moving more. I probably need to get more ball movement and get him slicing to the basket a little bit more. So that guy that's pre-rotating, he got to pay attention to him because he's going to give up a layup. Because if he doesn't, he's going to give up a layup. And that's bad.
But that's the point. You have to be more proactive isn't the words. But like the level of scheming required, innovative. Thank you. The level of scheming required to make these bad offensive players viable is way higher in today's game, way higher in the 2010s than it was in the 80s and 90s. And once again, that's not a knock. You do what you do with the rules. The fact that you were able to manipulate the illegal defense of that era, that's innovative. That's creative because you're maximizing your team's chances of success based on the rules of the time. I'm not knocking people for doing that. But when I have to hear about all this spacing in today's game, especially when it comes to guys like Kevin Durant, who I can't say outside of Golden State and Brooklyn because that's two of the best spacing situations ever. But in Houston right now, you guys aren't about to tell me they're spacing. In OKC, exactly. You guys aren't about to tell me they were spacing. And Kevin Durant is still at 37 years old, 26 on 50, 40, 90 with this spacing in Houston.
Hell, throwing the Nets after everybody got hurt.
Yeah. Brooklyn when James Harden's not there. Kyrie's not taking the vaccine. Kevin Durant in 22 and 23, elite efficiency. He's actually playing point guard for the Nets in 22. If you guys go back and watch, there's a lot of point guard minutes for Kevin Durant in 22. Like, he's doing a lot of things in spacing that isn't optimized. So, like, we can look at these games, and I'm not saying there's less spacing today than there was in eras like the 80s and 90s, because the fact that people can shoot manufactures a legal defense of some sort, because you still have to guard those guys out there. Not because you're obligated to, but because you're obligated to because they can knock down a shot. So, like, you pretty much replicated a legal defense just by having more skilled guys out there, which is, to your point, Kevin Durant's played with more skilled offensive teammates than Michael Jordan did. Because back in that era, the amount of skilled offensive players wasn't as high. So you can still generate spacing that way. But when we look at it through the lens of the amount of innovation that defenses were able to deploy in the modern game, and then offenses had to deploy to counter said defenses, it's way higher, in my opinion, than what you had to go through in the 80s and the 90s and the 70s and all of those eras, because the way the rules have changed, you have to be more creative to slow down the elite offensive players. You have to be more creative to free up your elite offensive players. That's the evolution of the game, and that's not a knock to the big.
Yo, Penn, right quick.
That's evolution.
Right quick, Penn. I got to step in. Mars and Real Talk are being nasty, caping for the era today and the spacing and stuff. Real Talk came in here and messed up a good praise session that we had for Kevin Durant.
I was about to get
but
back
I'm not
to
done
it,
with
I
you.
swear I was.
Hey, no, we're not about to get into this because I would not tolerate. I would not tolerate anybody saying that Kevin Durant is a better scorer than Michael Jordan. Also, Swiper, we haven't heard from you. I would like to hear how you feel about just Kevin Durant moving to 6th all time. I would like for you to chime in and let us know how you feel about Jordan versus KD and all of that good stuff. But before we do that, if you have not liked the video, what are you doing here? If you have not shared it, like my man Nick Hendricks, if you have not became a member, subscribed, and all of that stuff, if you don't follow us on Twitter, if you don't follow us on TikTok, please go follow us across platforms. This is what we do every single day, including MLK Day, including Christmas, including New Year's, including Valentine's Day when you guys are cupcaked up. We're on the panel getting active. This is just what we do Monday through Friday. And while you're at it, download the Splash Sports app. You could do that by scanning the QR code on the screen or clicking the link in the bio and downloading the app. Once you do that, you can make picks for your favorite players in your favorite sport, and it's very simple. You choose more or less on anywhere from 2 to 6 players. And the beautiful part about it is, you know ball. And you have the ability to use your basketball knowledge and leverage that to make the right picks that you believe are going to hit. So, for instance, we're talking about Kevin Durant. If the player projection had Kevin Durant to score over 26 points and they're playing against the Oklahoma City Thunder, you probably don't want to do that because OKC hand checks, right, guys? You probably don't want to do that because OKC will take advantage of the spacing that they don't have, right, guys? You probably don't want to do that because Kevin Durant isn't Jordan, and he's not going to give the best defense all time more than 26 points. However, if he was playing the Washington Wizards, that would probably be the time where you take more on Kevin Durant. However, you see how we just kind of went back and forth with that because some of you agree with me, some of you don't agree with me. But it is up to you at the end of the day to choose the player projections that you like. And what's the most beautiful part about this whole thing is you are competing against other people. You're not competing against the house. So when I put together a contest with 4 different players, I'm playing against other players or other real people, human beings that put together contests with 4 players at that same dollar amount. And the winner takes all. The loser, well, try again. But we're going to show you guys how it's done right here, right now on the panel. We are going to make our picks and we're going to see who knows ball up here. Let's get into it, fellas. What's up, Chill? Talk to me.
Ron, I understand that it is MLK Day, and I understand that the Washington Wizards have a game on MLK Day, which I think is interesting.
They do.
Yes, they do. They're playing the Clippers. So can I take a look at Leonard's line today? Let's see what my man Leonard got going.
Kawhi is out right now.
So no Leonard. So no Leonard.
As far as I know, yeah. He
okay.
He's getting his knee checked out.
Okay, that's right. He actually got sent home. That's correct. He did get sent home. So with that being said,
got a couple boosts.
How about we take a look at my man Donovan Mitchell's line against Cleveland? Can I take against Oklahoma City? Let's see what my man Donovan Mitchell looks like.
It would be great for you to take Donovan Mitchell because we have a 25% Donovan Mitchell boost for today. They also have Monday matchup boost. That's a 50% boost. Oh, we might want to do that. They also have a Karl Anthony Towns 25% boost, and they have a Cade Cunningham boost. I wonder, real talk, if we take all 3 boosts, would that give us a 75% boost? Hey, a swiver and a swindler like me, I'm gonna take advantage of every discount I can.
Absolutely.
But however, you want Donovan Mitchell.
Let me see what Donovan Mitchell looking like. What does his line look like?
Let's see. All right, 28.5 PRA.
38.5 PRA. Yeah, 38.5 PRA. All right. They got him going for how many points? They got him going for 32 today against Oklahoma City. Ooh.
No, that's points and rebounds. Even though the rebounds,
he averaged 9 against them last year.
That's what I'm about to say. I'm let's see here. So points and rebounds and 10 assists.
They playing OKC?
Yes, sir. OKC in Cleveland today this afternoon.
He be getting clamped by OKC. I ain't gonna lie.
That's what I was thinking.
Average is gonna bite you now. He gonna
let's see, Ron. 32.5 on the points and because there is no number just on the points, but the points and the rebounds 32.5. I'm gonna take the less on that.
Rebounds, points and rebounds.
Yeah, I'm gonna take the less on that.
All right, so we got Donovan Mitchell as the official Leicester. Whoa. Donovan Mitchell as the official Leicester for today. And what we're going to do is go up here and we're going to use that Donovan Mitchell 25% boost. Bang, we got it. All right, anybody else? Anybody? Swipe on Mars.
Yeah, for MLK Day, I'll take Jaylen Brown over 30.5 points versus the Detroit Pistons.
Swipe, man, how you doing, man?
Living, bro. What's going on with you?
Not much, man. Chilling. You know what I'm saying? Just trying to hear from you. You know, I haven't heard your radio voice much this morning. Hopefully, next segment.
Y'all having good talks. So I was letting y'all rap.
But talks are better when you're involved. You feel me?
That's to be determined. Depends on the day.
You're very much so better than school supply. So get in there, jump in there.
The school supply.
Absolutely.
Hold on, wait. Swiper.
That's not.
Hold up, Swiper. Which one do you want? They don't just have points straight up.
Oh, come on. Well, Jaylen Brown this year is averaging 36 points and 8 rebounds versus the Pistons this season. So I guess we can take the safe more on the points and rebounds. I will do 36.5 points and rebounds.
All right. Jaylen Brown is up. Mars, you're speaking on averages. Is there any average that you would not like to take?
Is that Dyson Daniels threes? Is that a thing?
Probably not.
I highly doubt that they would.
Yeah, that's too easy, man. That's too easy.
CJ McCollum been straight trash since he got to Atlanta.
Garbage.
So law of averages say he gonna get more tonight. So yeah, let me get the more on CJ McCollum. Whichever one you want. I'm taking the more on all of them. So whichever one you want.
We'll go points and
point
assists.
versus assists.
He's gonna have 25 points alone. So yeah, that's cool.
Pin,
What's up?
would you like to write your name in this legacy slip?
I don't really have a good answer to this.
All right, well, I guess I'll take it over then.
I got one.
Oh, what you got for me? What you got for me?
SGA's playing, right?
He is in fact
Cleveland,
playing.
Yeah, so that means he's gonna score 30 points. What is it at? What's his points at?
They could blow them out.
I don't think that's happening. At least
you got 43 PRA.
No. Wait, they don't have points by itself?
They don't have points by itself. You either got to take the points and assists, 39.5, points and rebounds, 36.5, or PRA.
Go with the lowest ones. So what is that? Points plus rebounds?
Because he's just gonna hit it with points alone. You said,
yeah, exactly. So just points plus rebounds.
So right here, points and rebounds.
Yep.
All right.
No J-Dub too. Oh yeah, he finna go crazy.
Yeah, J-Dub is out. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All right, that's how we rocking.
We got win now.
We got Donovan Mitchell less than 32.5 points and rebounds. Jaylen Brown more than 36.5 points and rebounds. CJ McCollum more than 20.5 points and assists. And SGA, the front runner to win MVP this year, at 36.5. We're going more than that. We're going to put 100 on it. And that turns into 100 turns into 1,200. I like it. Do we take the boost? Come on, Splash Sports. Y'all know we taking this boost. Yeah, apply that. There we go. All right, y'all. Welcome to the Winner Circle. Let us know if you like our picks, or let us know if you are taking different picks than what we took. But it has been real. Download the Splash Sports app. Join the Winner Circle. And as you see at the banner below, Mars, Pin, and Swiper, when you play Quick Picks on Splash Sports, we will match up to $50 when you use code PLAYER. And also, new users will get a 100% boost on their first entry. Join the Winner Circle. All right, fellas. Do we want to get the super chats? I'm gonna leave. I know I'm hosting, but I'm gonna leave it up to y'all.
Really quick,
we always want to get the super chats. But what, Chill?
I just wanted to say, real talk. We were talking about Kevin Durant. I just wanted to say that despite all the stuff about rule changes, Mars, and despite all the stuff about illegal defenses, KD would have fried them dudes in the 80s. He would have fried them dudes in the 90s. He would have destroyed the 2000s.
That's exactly what I was going to say.
He would have destroyed those dudes.
Sure. And MJ would have destroyed this era.
He would have wrecked it. As good as Derek McKee, as good as Derek McKee is as a defender, KD would have fried him. I love Scottie Pippen. Scottie Pippen would have had his hands full with KD. He would have given him hell. So
all right, fellas, we are, in fact, going to get into the super chats, but via the super chats, this debate ain't dead. Y'all still got to fight. The first super chat is from Context Kid. Shout out to Context Kid. I don't know.
Oh, this guy, Jesus.
What, do we know what denomination this is?
That's South African.
We getting some South African ducats today, y'all. 140 in South African. Context Kid said, great scorers are Steph and MJ. They guarded Steph. GOAT scorers are Steph and MJ. They guarded Steph on the bench and in the tunnel in NBA games. And he's not guarded for his playmaking. And if you don't guard him like that, we get the Olympics. By the way, KD's fifth. Juice heads don't count.
Who's that? 32?
Karl Malone. Yeah.
Yeah, shout out to him, man. I've had enough interactions with Context Kid. Shout out.
Can you put more context behind Context Kid? What he's saying here?
I don't think I've ever seen him in my replies not bring up the name Steph Curry. Not one time. In some capacity. We could be talking about the Hornets play the Blazers. He gonna tell you about Steph Curry. He has Steph Curry stan. So, and by proxy, he's a KD hater, but that's less important.
And Ron, really quickly before we move any further, in New York, Kareem And I actually have had conversations with you, my man. We not doing this MLK slander stuff today. You will get your ass and you will be bounced up out of here. We ain't doing none of this MLK stuff today. You not. MLK was a great human. He had his flaws just like any other human, but he was a great human. Anytime you could get an entire community to do something for the betterment of that community, you are a great human. So you're not going to sit up here and talk to us about how bad MLK was when he was working with the CIA. You're not doing that with us today. Not today, you're not. No, you're not.
Hey, Kareem, Chill his spoke. So
you ain't doing that today.
If it gets flagged again that you hating on MLK, buddy, you're gonna be watching from the outside in.
Luther. I don't know if you know that. Yes, my middle name is Luther. I was born.
It's actually funny how you have smart dummies. That's what I'm starting to call them on the internet.
I was born on
that have these conspiracy theories and think they know what they're talking about, and he has absolutely no idea what he's talking about in the chat.
Zero.
So he's actually the one that is believing the government propaganda, as he's trying to sit here and say MLK was government propaganda. Fighting for equality and access to everything isn't necessarily fighting for integration. Those are two different things, or equality amongst what you have. But we don't have to get into that.
What he's making it sound like, it was the idea of the CIA. No, it wasn't. It was his idea. They just came in on it.
Man, I hate the fact that every time somebody wants to stand for something that's even 5% good in this world, everybody got to hate on it. I don't know what's up with the hating that people love to do. Anytime somebody try to do something good, somebody always got to be like, no, they're not actually trying to do something good. They're actually being evil. They do this every single person. Any party that does anything good in life.
What does that mean?
People do this every day. It's weird.
You know how difficult it is to get a whole town of black people not to get on a bus? Like, I work across town, like 6-7 miles away, and I'm walking to work every day. And he got people to do that. But he's soft? Shut the hell up, man.
Anyone who knows me knows that this has been my walk.
Yeah, you are the problem.
Last 2 years.
You are the issue. Yes, you are.
Let me see, Swiper. Pin. Fire,
nice. Fire, man.
My favorite person in history. You can never make me.
Oh yeah, this is actually a good time for me to do that. Yeah,
exactly.
The one time is applicable. Yeah.
Sure, that's funny. Your middle name is Luther. My middle name is King. I was named after him too.
Oh, for real?
And it's quite.
He's lying.
He lying. He lying.
Bro, Ryan be lying for no reason.
Real talk. You
don't
want to box him every time I see him? You see why? Why would you want to box him every time I see him?
All right. Hey, look.
Straight swinging on him when I see him. It's not going to take long. I'm swinging on him when I see him. I promise you that. I'm straight firing on this dude when I see him. No question about that. So, this is a great day for MLK. This is who he is, man. He stood up for equality for people, and he was about doing it in a peaceful way. Yes, sometimes you got to go kick doors in. Yes, sometimes you have to be demonstrative. Yes, because people aren't just going to continue to listen to you when you just say, we want this, we want this, we want this. People aren't just going to, eventually, you're going to have to get forceful. Yes, you are going to have to do that. But he did it in a different way. And Dr. King was about peace. Dr. King was about integration. Dr. King was about equality for all people. Real talk. You want to live in a safe neighborhood. Yo, I got a wife and 3 kids. I do too. You want to have a good job. I went to college. That's the reason why I want this. That's the reason why I wanted to have a good job. So all of the stuff that you want, I want that too. And it shouldn't be just because you are of this ethnicity or of this race or of this religion. No, the same thing that you're afraid of, I'm afraid of it too. The same thing that you want in terms of a better life, I want that too. And that's what Dr. King was about.
Swipe, it'll be a great time to hear from you.
I don't want to go on one of my soliloquies. It's just there's a lot of ignorance around King and Malcolm X and Medgar Evers and Fannie Lou Hamer and everybody. So, obviously, some people know I have very direct ties with the family. So, it's not like it's a little bit more of a personal subject for me to talk about some of this stuff. Some of the stuff I obviously can't say, but I think, King was definitely very hated in 1967, the year before he died. He had a 25% approval rating across the United States of America. And it wasn't because he was preaching nonviolence, which is not with the hyphen in between, because that's just physical violence. But nonviolence is basically mental, emotional, spiritual, physical violence. He was talking about the Vietnam War. He was talking about capitalism. The March on Washington in 1963 was about the demands for freedom and justice and job equity. go getting the minimum wage up. There's a lot of things. The last thing that he got a chance to do when he was in Tennessee, he was there for the Poor People's Campaign, and then he actually had a flu. I'll tell a great story. One of the Dr. King's last speech ever, when he got a chance to actually go to the Tabernacle, he would actually have the flu. He was sick in bed, and he was like, I can't do it, y'all. Like, there's no way I can show up. These people in Tennessee were there, obviously, to hear from him because he was 39 years old. He had been leading the movement since 1956 when he took over as a church in Alabama. And he was just like, kind of on his deathbed, in a little bit. Like, he was really struggling. But, he just mustered it up. And I think the thing that I will say about King that he doesn't get a lot of credit for, he was obviously a Christian pastor. He was a philosopher. He was extremely well studied. He went to Morehouse. He went to Crozer Seminary, but then also he went to Boston University for his PhD. He got his PhD by the time he was 25 years old, just for people to understand just like how intelligent he was. But one of the great things about it, man, he went up there, real talk, did the mountaintop sermon, and it was completely off the top of the dome. Like, none of it was written, down or anything like that. He did that, like I said, on his deathbed. But, King had a lot of stuff. I'll say this. King had a lot of fears towards the end of his life. He had been threatened and attacked by the CIA and FBI several times. There are pictures of him that you would find if you go to some of these documented places where he had been poisoned by the CIA, where they were putting poison on his utensils in his hotels, and his face was like completely drooped because of the stuff had gotten into his skin. He was in the hospital multiple times. He was obviously arrested 16 times over the course of his life. So by the time he gets to the last couple of years, y'all, you got to understand he was super hated. He was being tracked and targeted by the FBI and CIA. So by the time he gets to Tennessee, they're headed to another event. And so where he got shot, the Lorraine Motel, you can actually go there now, and it's a museum. And they have these pictures up, like, to kind of show like his body kind of laid out on the pavement and all that. But I think a lot of people will think why this is such a big deal is like people don't know this, but when King got shot, he got shot so perfectly that it literally cut his tie in half. Yep. And so when he was laying on the ground, Chill might be aware of this because he's a little older. He actually didn't die right there. He actually died in the hospital, and they could have resuscitated him, but then they chose not to. So this was like a very corroborated plan from several different layers. And then just so so you can all be aware of this, the King family sued the Memphis Police Department for $1. And what they sued them on is to prove that James Earl Ray, in fact, did not kill Dr. King because they had no evidence, because James Earl Ray is the one that went to jail for assassinating Dr. King. Yep. They won the lawsuit, and the Memphis Police Department came out and said that we have no proof, and we know that James Earl Ray definitively did not kill King. So that came out after the fact, later on, decades later. And so it is very documented within the family that they know that King was not killed by James Earl Ray. They know that the FBI and CIA had been trying to get rid of him for several years. In the same way they got rid of, in the same era, Malcolm X, who, especially post-Mecca, was a different human being and all that stuff. So yeah, I think what people have no idea. Like, if you were a black leader at that point, every single black leader in the 20th century was under investigation by the FBI and by the CIA. So this idea, I think, that King would be corroborating with these people was obviously ridiculous, but people also need to know that King had people within his circle that were FBI and CIA informants that he was not aware of, that ended up getting him killed later on down the line. And so, but shout out to Coretta Scott King.
I believe y'all call them snitches today. That's what y'all call them.
She set up the King Center in 1968, 3 months after he died, basically in June. And she actually is the one that got all the papers and all of his work published, all the books. The reason why you know everything about King and the nonviolent movement and the civil rights era from 1964 or 54 to 1968, it's all because of Mrs. Coretta Scott King. So absolutely, like, I think a lot of people are tying King Holiday to King, but King Holiday is not just about Dr. King, but it's also about Mrs. Coretta, because Coretta like literally laid the foundation of the movement. And so yeah, it's a story that's littered in blood, but also quite literally, like, we would not have a lot of the civil freedoms we have, the 64 Civil Rights Act, the 65 Voting Rights Act. None of that stuff would exist without a lot of those people that went out there and did what they did. And so obviously we're in a crux today, and we're moving forward today, trying to find ways to move forward. But there are a lot of injustices that still exist that Dr. King in his writings addressed. And if you want to read King, I would say go read his last book, Where Do We Go From Here? Chaos or Community in 1967. That was the final book that he wrote. And so I think that would be very beneficial to a lot of you all.
Opportunity, if you're in Atlanta, go see it, yo.
Yeah, the King Center.
Yeah,
If
like Swipey said, go read something.
If you're ever in Atlanta,
don't watch a conspiracy video on YouTube and think you have all the answers. Now go read a book, because it's real funny how every black leader, there's the
and why Kareem can't read, right?
In real time, and after their death, all of these black leaders got killed by the government. Yet there's a conspiracy about how every black leader of the 19th century was
working with the government. He was
the government is killing them. So
I always believe that Malcolm X and MLK were on their way
20th century
together before their assassinations.
When King was when he was assassinated in Tennessee, he was actually on his way to Chicago because there was a labor dispute going on up there, and when it came to inequality, and he was on his way, he was going to go work with those people up there, but then he was ultimately killed in Tennessee. So he wasn't.
And he actually said, there's another book. I don't have it in this room. It's downstairs in my book log. But when he spent time in Chicago, that was actually the worst. That was the worst examples of racism that he personally had dealt with and seen in terms of like city, because when you're in bigger urban metro areas, it's supposed to be these progressive places, but there is a lot of just racial violence within like the poverty, the infrastructure, economic injustice, like all kind of stuff. And so I think one of the things that people missed out on with later year King was focusing most of his work around economic injustice and trying to I think obviously not just to value the dollar amongst African-American folks, but obviously just as a whole. And he was actually uniting poor people as a large, similar to Fred Hampton, white poor people, Latin poor people, Black poor people. The whole idea was that like everyone's being taken advantage of. And also he was a proponent of reparations, which I'm a proponent of reparations. He said also, again, in an ABC interview, that how do you release people from 244 years of bondage into, the winds and the rains, but they have no boots to strap themselves into. They have no place to live. They have no place to work. Several different layers. It's just, I think it's good. I think it is important for everyone that you actually go out and read and investigate and learn from primary source materials, not secondary source materials. And obviously Penn and others have been to school up here. There's a difference between primary sources reading directly from, as opposed to secondaries reading from someone else about someone else. And I think a lot of the stuff that we get in our news is like, Jordan's favorite word, tertiary source materials, which is like, I heard from somebody else that this happened. But I think, man, like to correct some stuff in the chat, like I said, man, Dr. King did not do this specifically only for black people.
He did.
This was about everyone, but he was killed because it was,
Yeah.
And I know we got to move on, Ron. But imagine wanting to do something, for your people and being ridiculed for it. That's why I'm on record saying that J. Edgar Hoover is one of the worst humans in human history. Worst, top cop. Made MLK public enemy numero uno.
The American government will always oppose people who fight upward. They will never oppose anybody who fights horizontally.
Correct.
And I think that is like the overarching theme that I took from learning about Martin Luther King during Black History. Like when we were younger, we used to have Black History Month in the United States, and we would read a few pamphlets and read a book or whatever. But I got very, very much into it. And I wanted to understand like what is it that I could take away from this, and the main thing that I took away from it, and just observing my own environment growing up in the 90s, where I think racism was very different than it is today, was that when you other somebody, regardless of who you other, quite frankly, you could other someone who's handicapped, you could other somebody who's autistic, you could other someone who's on the spectrum, you could other somebody who's Black or white or whatever. It makes doing horrible things to them much easier. It makes disregarding their emotions as a human being much easier. It's like when you can say, well, those people, and I feel like this tribalistic area that we've gotten into the internet, even when we're talking about different sports fans, like those people, this people, becomes like, it makes being inhumane to that person very easy. And I think that is the warpath to destruction. That you could do something to somebody like that, but you could never do that to somebody that you looked at as your brother. You could never do that to somebody that you viewed as your neighbor. But it's like the rich can do something to the poor because there's a degree of separation between us and them. And I think that any person who preaches the us and them argument, regardless of whether they're right or wrong, quite frankly, is creating more harm than good.
Just my last thing on the subject. I don't know where Ron went, and then I guess we'll pivot when Ron comes back or whatever. But the reason why people like a Kareem irk my nerves is because, like, at what point is it then, like, what is the point if you're Martin, or if you're Malcolm, if you're Fred, right? If you're and then people wonder, black people in particular, if I'm going to be African Americans, we wonder why there are no new leaders in the civil rights movements and stuff like that. It's because, number one, as soon as you make yourself that, your life is legitimately in danger, right? Like, not for play. They all ended up dead,
No, for real,
killed. And then after that, the narrative about you gets spun by the same people who control the media and killed you. And now this very same people that you were fighting for are now, years later, in chats talking about how you were cooperating with the government. And now we sit here wondering why don't nobody want to pick up a mantle. Nobody wants to pick up the mantle to continue fighting publicly for black people, because you get killed, and then the same people that kill you control the media, spin it about you, and then you get Kareem's in the chat talking about you were corroborating with the government that you were publicly fighting against.
So ultimately had you assassinated. That ultimately had you assassinated, by the way. But I was working with them,
man,
secretly working with them. Give me a break.
That done kills me, bro.
Well, also, and I'll end with this: if it wasn't important, you know, Jordan, that's probably a conversation to have on the other side. I think that's probably two different things. But I will say that the reason why education is so important, you all, is the people that are in power that are constantly trying to take away your right to vote, your right to own a home, your right to have access to a bank, your right to education, that are attacking your ability to learn about Dr. King, the civil rights movement, slavery, the genocide of indigenous Americans, the Japanese internment camps in the 1940s, all that stuff. The reason why they're trying to take away your ability to learn is because knowledge is power. And the more that you know about your history, the more that you know about how we got here, then that gives you the tools to be able to learn how to move forward. And I think one thing that is being lifted up in this era that is unique is ignorance. For a lot of people, they believe it's cool to be ignorant. They believe that it's powerful to be ignorant. And ignorance does work for a lot of people, because I think some people, they feign ignorance because they don't know how to pursue knowledge. But also on the other end of this, when you're ignorant, it's easier to live in a silo and not actually have to care about the things that are happening to other people around you. And I think one of the things that we all can learn from, including myself, is the more compassionate you are for people who are unlike you. I think the more human you become. I think the better leader you become. I think the more compassionate you are about folks that you disagree with. I think that is kind of how you broach that lane of the better I do, the better you do, the better you do, the better that I do. And I think that is very much at the ethos of nonviolence and Dr. King, and why, moving forward in education is important. But if your education didn't matter, they would never go about attacking your ability to learn and trying to take things out of your school, like in Texas and in Georgia and Florida, and attacking the curriculum to prohibit you from being able to learn about the things that have happened that have led to America to this point. So again, that's what I'm saying. Learn, read, do what you got to do, study articles, read King directly. But shout out, by the way, they're in Minnesota. There are currently like indigenous Americans that are being held captive that we have no idea where they are. And even though they're the foundational Americans as well. So like, this is just, there's a lot of really important things happening in the world. I don't know how to, that's why, I really try not to get involved on this platform. Because I realize that, Ron, this is not the place, but I can't pretend to not care. I mean, there's no way for me to not be, to be engaged and to care about people being put in labor camps.
And how much better to honor Dr. King than on basketball season? We're gonna make a day for you, brother, and we're gonna make a day for you with some great basketball. That's what we're gonna do. We're gonna talk about you and talk about basketball at the same time. Let's do it, Ron. This is what I'm talking about. Absolutely.
Yes, sir. And you guys, I'm experiencing some technical difficulties, some internet difficulties.
You are technical difficulty, Ron. How about that?
Well,
you are.
Well, chill. They trying to shut us down. They're corroborating to bring us down yet again. But we will stand, we will fight, and we will continue to read these super chats. Salute to you guys. But no, seriously, my internet has been messing up. So if I do jump off, Swiper got us. But in the meantime, Nibs Knows Balls said, it's my B-Day today, fellas. Hope you guys have a blessed day. Do something nice for someone today.
Happy birthday, brother.
Happy
Happy
birthday,
birthday.
to you.
Yes, sir.
Apparently,
Shout
that's
out
a
to
bad
you,
thing to
man.
do something nice for you, bro.
Salute to you, Nims. Happy
Yes,
birthday. I
sir.
hope you have a good one. And you do something nice for someone today, too. I'm assuming a lot of people are going to do something nice for your birthday, but you do something nice for somebody, too. We got another super chat from the Godfather. The Godfather said, off topic, if you were on a game show with a team and the host offered you $1 million to eliminate the entire team, are you doing it? Also, you still get to stay in the game for $5 million for a $5 million prize.
Yes. Bye.
Yes.
Get this team out of here. Yes. Yes. Yes,
I know
Ron.
exactly. I know exactly what he's talking about. That was an actual game show that actually happened just recently. Actually,
Real talk.
crazy work.
Is it a Mr. Beast thing?
I'm sorry, I didn't even
I believe so.
completely look at the super chat. I've been reading.
If you
Off
missed
topic,
the talk,
Uh-huh.
no, go ahead. Go ahead.
Off topic, if you were on a game show with a team and the host offered you $1 million to eliminate your entire team, are you doing it? Also, you still get to stay in the game. Oh yeah, I mean,
So real talk. Are you
What is
eliminating?
eliminate?
Lakers bye. Lakers.
They're not dead. They're not dead.
Oh,
they're not dead.
not destroying
Yeah,
them.
I don't think
yeah,
they're
yeah.
dead.
That's all.
Absolutely, yeah.
What if the
I mean, my
good
answer
guy-
doesn't change regardless, but I don't think that.
Okay, got you.
No.
That's crazy.
We're not killing them. We're just taking them off the board. That's all. Yes, I'm doing
So
it.
the Lakers lose and I get $1 million?
We don't even get to that. You're just taking them off the board. You eliminate them.
Oh
They're
yeah,
out.
yeah.
Yeah.
We got
But-
17 championships.
And
already.
just
We
to
don't
clear
need-
that up in the chat, because education is important. White people or the American government did not give us MLK Day. Credit Scott King and the movement. The people actually, part of the family, got us MLK Day. That was a very active fight amongst to get it federally mandated. The same thing with Juneteenth. Juneteenth wasn't an internally fought holiday. So this is it was no. I mean, don't drench. I can tell you directly that it was directly the family. Like,
And
I can tell you that
Arizona
with
is
a
the
certainty.
last state to
Yeah,
honor
Arizona's the last
MLK
state.
Day. By
Yeah.
the way, Arizona was the last state to honor MLK Day.
Right. And who was the senator blocking that?
Oh, Senator McCain, actually.
Shout out to him.
Mhm.
All right, the next super chat is from Dub Ball Out Highlights. Ball Out Highlights said, I'm not going to lie. I didn't know there were so many dumb, ignorant people in the chat that didn't care to even hear about how great MLK was. Then people wonder why we don't have great leaders anymore. Shaking my head. Corn.
We have plenty. I don't
balls.
want to. I think that's the misnomer. There are plenty of people doing great work. At the time, all came together perfectly for Dr. King to exist because it was a collection of, he was made the leader of a black movement at 26 years old, like, because he was like obviously prolific, but also they wanted a young person to represent the organization. And then from 26, remember Emmett Till was killed in 54. Like, that's what set off the civil rights movement. So it was King rising up. It was Emmett Till. It was also the nonviolent movement itself. He was obviously a terrific orator, but then it was a collection of like all these things happened. And then the Montgomery boycott movement happened. It became a national story. And then eventually the president got involved because now there were armed militia trying to attack the boycotters for a full year. So then they had to get government protections. And then from there, it escalated to like, okay, we got to get like actual laws passed to protect these people. And then we need to get laws passed to actually talk about the economic injustices. And then that's when John F. Kennedy, by the way, just backstory, the reason why majority of black people vote Democrat, it happened in the 1960s and the early, because what happened is majority of black people were Republican. But then when John F. Kennedy called on behalf of Dr. King to get him out of jail, that's when the vote flipped from being mostly majority black Republican to mostly majority black Democrat. But that's also when the Southern strategy happened, where white people then tried to take back their own political power. And then that's when the white majority then became Republican. So it all happened over the course of like 3 to 4 years where everything kind of flipped. So, just again, it's just, this is all accessible with books and stuff and everything else. I think Ron's cooked. I got it. Yeah, I got it. I got it.
Cooked again.
Ron's cooked. We got a pertaining. Could I try to keep super chats within the context of the show? We got a $50 super chat from DENMLB. $50 super chat. Thank you so
First
much.
super chat you bring up is to glaze yourself.
Well, it's $50. Like, I
hear you.
Absolutely.
we had all these
Coincidence,
meetings behind the
coincidence.
scenes about like,
Absolutely.
you know what I mean? $100 super chat.
Absolutely, Swiper. Absolutely.
$50 super chat.
Yes, sir.
Gotta get to it. And Ron's just like, $2 super chat, son. Unrelated topic.
You, Ron, you.
wherever he is, shout out, appreciate the $50 super chat. Let's see here, because we got some conversations about everything else. $10 super chat, Taserman 17. Swipe, I'm choking on that Josh Allen pack with the side of apple turnovers. Praying for Bo Nix. Excuse my emotional overreaction. But Orlando are a mediocre team. Trade everyone and fire Jamal Mosley. And I know for a fact that they were looking to talk to drum roll. Real talk about the Houston Texans, who he claimed fandom about 6 weeks ago. Shout out to you. There's nothing wrong with that. That's your city. What were your thoughts on the game versus the New England Patriots, brother?
Yo, temporary host, can you remove the super chats as they come up so that Ron doesn't read them again later?
Yeah, I got you.
I
got you, brother.
Yes, sir.
I guess there's two of me up here. Nah, CJ Stroud was terrible. I mean, there's really no
Even Mars commented. Mars.
Yeah, CJ was
Mars, were you watching the game?
Mars, on a scale from 1 to 10,
see-
10 being elite, 1 being trash, what did you think of CJ
That's the
Stroud?
worst player I've ever seen in my life.
I've never seen Mars comment on football.
So real talk. This is gonna not take long, right? So I was watching something, right, and then I was scrolling through, seeing what else I could watch, and I seen that the game was on. I was like, oh, let me watch this. Houston versus New England. I kid you not. I turned the game on for 5 minutes. He threw 2 picks. I turned the game on. The moment I turned the game, and come to find out, then they show replays of him throwing a pick before that, before I even started watching.
Yeah.
So I was like, it was over. Cool, I guess. Shout out to him. But I literally.
Yeah, Mars, you walked in on this. The shenanigans was already going on before you walked in.
Yeah, I was like,
Mars,
okay, yeah, cool, I guess. And then I went to go watch the African Cup of Nations. Shout out to Senegal. But yeah, it was. Yeah, whatever, I guess.
No, I'm gonna tell y'all how bad it was. It was so bad, like throughout the whole fourth quarter, while it was still a game, it was like, man, we might need to put Davis out there. We might need to see what Mills can do, because it ain't looking too good. I'm like, at this point, throw him out there. They say he won them like 4 or 5 games in a row to even get them to this point. Hey man, put the hot hand back on the field.
I was saying the same thing. I said, bro, you could see it was even past like CJ playing bad. Man. And I know we're gonna psychoanalyze or whatever, but if you looked at CJ over there on the bench, he looked befuddled. He was out of it. He was out of it, bro. And he was bad in the previous playoff game. It was just the defense was able to carry. Which shout out to the defense, even this game. They did the best that they could. They really did. They did the best they could. But CJ was out of it, bro. He was a deer in headlights, and he should have been subbed out the game. He just
was the last time a starting quarterback got yanked in the playoffs.
Yeah, I don't know.
I'll tell you when the last time
you should get
it needs to happen more.
If I'm not mistaken, I believe it was the great Brett Favre who played against Philadelphia. I want to say in 2004, Swipe. I think he threw 5 picks that day. And he said, quote, I'm actually glad he took me out because I probably would have thrown 6 or 7 if he kept me in.
Yeah, that's tough, man. That was they could have won the game too, but that was a disaster class in every way, shape, or form. So shout out, man. That was crazy. We have another one pertaining to football. Want to keep all these in context. Void Century YouTube, $2 super chat swipe. I'm sorry for your loss, but really rooting for you. That tough. Bo Nix going down with a random ankle injury is just absolutely insane. We got some super chats pertaining to MLK. Feel like we probably should cover that now. As Penn said, thanks for the suggestion. Liam McLean, 1773, 1738, $7 super chat. Injustice anywhere is a threat to justice everywhere. Shout out. That was one of the most famous quotes from Dr. Martin Luther King. We got another $5 super chat from Aiden F. with Cats, $5. Asada Shakur autobiography is very great read too. Yeah, shout out. There's a lot of really good books. If anybody wants to pick one up. Did we do this one? Oh yeah, we didn't read this one. I don't think. Penn. $10 super chat limited. Z Hoops Talk. $10 super chat. Shout out to Swipe Man dropping knowledge. Shout out to y'all. Too while y'all reading, do y'all homework on the Black Panther movement as well as Fred Hampton. Fred Hampton killed at 22 years old in his own bed with his girlfriend. With
The reason why
knock
you
on the
have
door.
free breakfast and lunch in schools today is because of the Black.
You should definitely read about the original Black Panther movement. It was actually did a lot of great things in the community, and I'm sure we can talk about that at a later date sometime as well.
People just look at them as a defense squad for Black people.
They were, but they also, made sure everybody got a chance to read
more
Meat
than
too.
that, but that's the narrative that they want to push.
They weren't just the defense
They
squad.
did a lot, but that's how media propaganda works. This TJ 1331 JT, I'm about to say chit something like that. I thought it was another language. $5 super chat. I knew Swipe was intelligent, but surprised at my ignorance. MLK, what books did you read, Swipe, so I can get it? This is my first super chat. Well, thank you for sending your first super chat. It's always good to ask questions about education. Again, I would say just start with where do you go from here, chaos or community. Mrs. Coretta Scott King has a book called My Life, My Love, My Legacy that she wrote about her life, but also about Dr. King. I think those are two great places to start it. I had a lot of my teenagers would read that. Also, Strength of Love is another very good book. I think you would enjoy that book as well.
Have you read the new Jim Crow?
Yes, great book, phenomenal book.
Michelle Alexander and
Michelle Alexander has some phenomenal work, but that is a great book.
Jim Crow,
and it's a great book. And Dorothy Roberts, Killing the Black Body.
Yeah,
it's another good one.
Yeah, I don't have any of those books in here, but there's New Jim Crow is about the prison industrial complex. It's phenomenal. It's a phenomenal book.
Hey, shout out to the great Coretta Scott King too, by the way. Man, when you find her, you hold on to her. That's what you do. And Dr. King knew when he found her, he had her. Like that's
great opera singer, by the way. If people didn't know that, she could sing phenomenally. Gave up her career to be Dr. King's wife in some ways, but also wanted to support the movement. But just fun fact, Dr. King was not talking about the Vietnam War until it was Mrs. Coretta who got him talking about it. So who you marry matters more than anything else. And she made sure that the legacy stayed alive once he was assassinated.
It is the biggest decision of your life.
Yeah,
absolutely.
So, you never know just how much that person's going to mean to you later on down the line. So shout out to everybody that's going to have a future person one day if you want one, or if you're polygamous, multiple people. I don't know.
And free, just so you know, you said he was cheating. So was George Washington, and so was all the other presidents of the United States. And I can run down how many great men had other women in their bed. So don't do that. Don't do that.
Well, that's not I don't want to get into that, but there's another more.
I can run down plenty of them who were doing that. So
a lot of FBI noise behind that.
Yes.
I'm Crimson, $5 super chat. We got some tap dancers and sleeper agents in the chat right now. I will say this in the spirit of nonviolence. I don't think people are trying to tap dance, and I don't think people are. Well, they might be trying to. I do think information is power, and I think if you've been misinformed, then it's easy to spread misinformation. So I think that's why learning from original source material is the best thing that you can do.
I think there's also like different perspectives on things, and here's the thing. Like I don't like. I've been reading what Jordan's been saying in the chat and stuff about empowerment, and I think like there's one side which is reparation, and the other side which is like empowerment, and some people view reparation as pity, and the early knowledge that you receive from your parents or from your society or like whatever you were growing up in, that becomes the anchor on which you tether everything. And so if information comes after that information, you view it all as misinformation. So I just think that there needs to be a way to unite, when there's differences between two people, there has to be like 7 strands on which we can agree. And then we can build from there, right? Like even between Martin Luther King and Malcolm X, there were so many disagreements. There were so many different ways, but there was agreements. There were like 7, 8 major agreements. And one could argue, had they not been assassinated, they might have actually worked together and collaborated and, ushered in.
Which is a part of the whole other conversation. Why were they assassinated in their 30 to 39 years old?
Because they were actually winning. because they were winning. That's it.
It's a history, man. Like there's a history of blood trails. By the way, a white person, if you ever want to get tapped into, who did a lot of this work in Germany, this is for the European brothers out there. Dietrich Bonhoeffer, phenomenal mind. He actually was a Christian theologian. He was assassinated and killed during World War II, right before World War II let out. But he was had a big hand in a lot of this stuff as well. Again, trying to make sure I stay with the super chats that are in particular with this conversation. We got Leah McLean, 1773, $7 super chat. The Mahalia Jackson movie on Netflix showcased a lot of MLK work in life, and one of the influential talents of singer Mahalia Jackson. Yeah, she was phenomenal. Dr. King would actually call her on his house phone to sometimes hear her sing, because we didn't have iPods and all that stuff back then. So he would like call her to get like to have himself
some inspiration. Help me out. Can you sing me something? Can I hear
that's
something,
fact.
please?
That real talk. That will be me calling Maya one day to get inspiration on a FaceTime. Like, can I just get a song, please? As I'm kind of dealing with everything I'm dealing to, and all that other stuff. Maybe Beyonce, but I don't know if I can get to that level. We'll find out. Let's get to here. We got some more super chats. Teddy Hart, $5 super chat. No disrespect, but dude on the bottom left with the hat looks like Malcolm X to me for real. Just put on some glasses. I don't. Oh, is that must be Intel.
Oh, he do look. I never put that.
If you had a little red in your hair, Intel.
Hey, for sure, he kind of do look like.
You kind of got a ML. You do kind of got a Malcolm X thing going on. Yes, you do. Like if you had you muted, by the way. But if we put some red in that beard and we put some red up top.
Red in the beard is crazy.
Red in the beard is crazy.
You definitely.
How tall are you, Mtel?
Yeah, we might be able to get that off.
I'm 5'10" and a half.
Damn.
Yes, sir.
Some people don't know how tall Malcolm X was. He was very tall.
He's like 6'5", yo, something crazy like that. Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah. They his funny story about, not funny story, but his mother was obviously she was a
white woman,
very pro-black, but she married the darkest man she could find because she was she wanted to purposely to marry the darkest man she could find, and then one of the reasons that Malcolm X ended up becoming, I actually wrote my first thesis paper on this in grad school. Malcolm X eventually joined the Nation of Islam in part because the people who killed his father were white nationalists who called themselves Christians. So he believed that Christianity was the white man's religion. Eventually fell into the Nation of Islam while he was in jail, was a part of that organization, and then eventually left the Nation of Islam, became just a broader term Muslim and all this other stuff. But it was a phenomenal story. Again, has probably one of the best biographies there is. The Malcolm X biography is tremendous. So definitely get a chance to read that if you want to. Just a lot of information that has nothing to do with basketball, but try to make sure we get through this. Anyway,
it's
that's
funny how the same religion is used so differently from different groups of people.
Yeah.
Because
power, at the end of the day, human beings are obsessed with power, and we will use any means necessary, including sports, in order to get there.
Human beings are obsessed with meaning.
Yes, that's very true. It's very true.
Yeah,
we all ascribe meaning to different things. Like when you watch some of these crazy TLC shows here in America, Mars, there are people that are in love, literally in love, and marrying their cars and different objects and all that kind of stuff. So we definitely ascribe meanings to multiple things. But that's gonna do it. We can move on to the later super chats at another time. But shout out to you all. Great job from everybody else participating in that conversation. Do we want to get to fast breakdown?
Yes, sir. Let's
talk about all the games that happened yesterday. Let's do that. So yesterday we had a great slate of NBA games, kind of, a little bit, nothing crazy. There are actually a lot of different things that are kind of happening around the league. The Minnesota Timberwolves, mind you, over the weekend, Anthony Edwards had a phenomenal game versus Victor Wembanyama, and I think he dropped 55 points. Real talk.
Yep.
55 points, and then Victor Wembanyama, he dropped 39 points in a game that went all the way down to the clutch. Anthony Edwards ended up losing that game, but Anthony had 55, 4 rebounds, and 3 assists. Jaden McDaniels, 23. Julius Randle had 17 and 10. On the other side, you get 39 points and 9 rebounds from Victor Wembanyama, and De'Aaron Fox comes away with 25 points and 12 assists on 10 of 17 from the field, y'all. And the Minnesota Timberwolves are keeping pace in the top 5. The Spurs currently have a half-game lead, I believe, over the Denver Nuggets in the second place, man. Thoughts on that game? Thoughts on Anthony Edwards in the clutch? Thoughts on Victor Wembanyama?
Chill.
Well, yes, sir.
One thing I just wanted to say very quickly to you and the panel and everybody in the audience and everybody out there, those kind of games are the games that create NBA fans.
Yeah.
Those kind of big moments, those kind of big-time players when matching up, performing to that level is what makes sports, what makes the NBA, and is what makes fans. That game was absolutely phenomenal. High-level basketball being played from a multitude of people. Again, so I would just outline Wemby, Anthony Edwards, somebody who I have been singing the praises of since the preseason. I've been trying to tell y'all this man is top 5. He's the 3rd best scorer in the world, and he might be climbing up that chart, but we'll get to that later. But yeah, I just wanted to say that game is what makes the NBA the NBA. That was a phenomenal show.
Still on a minutes restriction. He only played 30 minutes. was really productive in the time that he was really productive in the time that he played. He stood up more this particular time to the physicality from Julius Randle. I thought he did a lot of good stuff, and not just letting Julius Randle get up underneath him. I think he got off the ball, reposted a couple of times. I thought he put himself in better spaces where he can get shots off. He was really good. He was really good in the limited time that he played. Julius gets himself in trouble with his on and off shot, but I felt like Julius did some good things in terms of being on the glass. I am going to be an advocate that I'm going to have to talk about scoring more. I do have to talk about being a bucket getter more than I do. I mean, I'll talk about other aspects of the game, but I think that I've gotten away from how important it is to put the ball in the basket. I'm one of those people who have gotten away from that, and I felt like Wemby did a really good job at that. I'm hoping. The thing that I'm hoping with San Antonio, because De'Aaron Fox, he's getting it. It looks like De'Aaron Fox is getting it back going again. And I like what's going on with him. Stephon Castle, on the other hand, there seems to be something tricky going on with him, like that. He likes that he likes that right wing, and below the break, not above the break, but below the break. He's really good around that area, and he likes going to his strong hand. But there's something going on in terms of him being in the flow of the offense. Like maybe he needs to touch the ball a little bit more, as opposed to just being on the floor. There's players who, I mean, I don't know if you guys know that. I mean, you guys know this. Being a scorer, you're in rhythm. And I don't necessarily have to shoot the ball every trip, but if I can touch it, I can stay in rhythm of the offense. And I feel like Castle, when he doesn't touch it, he kind of gets out of the rhythm of the offense. So maybe that can help him get back in the rhythm if he touches the basketball a little bit more.
Yeah, Anthony Edwards is a special player, man. He's definitely one of my favorite players in the league. He has been. He is. I think I wanted to get involved in the core scorer conversation, but it was just going to turn into slander, and I feel like KD just needs to be praised for what he was doing. I personally think Michael Jordan, that's my favorite player I've ever watched in my life. He's just, but that's probably
we're chipping away at that legacy one block.
No, we're not. We're not. Real talk. We are not. Magic. Honestly, real talk. I honestly feel like for your agenda,
yes, I am.
for your agenda, I feel like next on the list should be Wilt Chamberlain, but like that makes that's a much easier target than Jordan.
Care about him anymore, so that's not fun.
So real talk, I want to make sure I'm following you.
Real talk has gone through the eras. Real talk has already done his damage to the 60s and the 70s. He already gone. Now he's gone through Magic and Bird. He derailed them in the summer. Now it's gonna be Michael Jordan. Just after Michael Jordan, I'm fair certain it's gonna be Tim Duncan. But we gonna go through like that's what he does.
Which, by the way, real talk, I said Havlicek instead of when talking about SJ, it's actually Doc. That's why. That's
okay. That made that. Yeah.
That's a
great
clip.
The
Havlicek clip was amazing.
Yeah, that was a great clip.
Even though Havlicek was awesome, it really was Doc. But with that being said, real talk. If I'm not mistaken, slow me down if I'm wrong here. So last year, I extended my game to the long ball line, and I led the league at the long ball line. This year, I'm the best clutch player in the game. So it looks like I'm expanding my game. Right, it looks like I'm expanding my game. Like, what's next when it comes to Anthony Edwards? Now, y'all guys know how I feel about Donovan Mitchell. Y'all know Donovan Mitchell is my guy. Y'all know that I still think he's the best two guard in the game. However, I still think he's the best two guard in the game, 100%. But with that being said, I cannot deny the expansion of Anthony Edwards' game. How much better he has been in the mid range this year. How much more he's going to it. How much more he's looking at the long ball line, and not just that. He's competing on defense a lot more than he did last year, even though I catch him chilling off the ball. But when he's on the ball, he's competing a lot more on defense. So, this thing is working. It is working. And to Max in the chat, who said that I'll be low-key I'll be low-key not giving Ant his credit. I am 100% confident that I was the one who said that I think he's going to be the best guard in the game in the next couple of years. I am 100% confident I said that. And I got jumped like I was getting initiated into the grips, just so you know.
We started this conversation out on this episode talking about Kevin Durant. And one of the things that I've always really appreciated about Kevin Durant is that he pays a lot of homage to the past while giving a lot of respect to the present and the future. He's never shy about heaping praise on a young player coming up. He's not cagey about it. He's not a hater. But he never dismisses the past. He never says, well, these guys didn't have it tough, whatever. Like there's a sense of respect to it So at this point, I would just ask, what is the social good? What is the social good of deconstructing Magic Johnson, Larry Bird, Michael Jordan? What is to be gained by making these people seem not as good as they are? You're not like, there is a way, and I think KD has found that way, to give proper due to the talent of the current generation without aggravating the past. And I think the only people who necessarily get a joy out of aggravating the past to prop up the present are like maybe not very good people.
Again, was that the best you can conjure up? Like,
Well, Real Talk's
slights
trying to build a
today-
brand, though. You know, he's trying to build
But
be
no,
famous
on
on the
what?
internet.
On what?
The slights today out of Penn.
They
have been
saying
very
you know
disappointing,
genuine,
by the
Real
way.
Talk.
Yeah, apparently, yeah. But the
Is
reasoning
this what you truly
I've given
believe?
the reasoning on this multiple times.
Is this
It's
what
really
you
not
believe?
even to. I think that for some players and throughout history, we do discuss the context around their career in a very intimate way, in a very in-depth way. I really do. I think that happens with LeBron. I think that happens with Kobe. I think there are players that definitely
Kevin Durant.
get Kevin Durant. There are players that get nitpicked to death. And so all I'm doing really is doing that to other players. I think kind of things just kind of get glossed over. People don't really talk about the down times or bad performances out of Larry Bird too much, or Magic Johnson as history is going along,
Tragic
right? Or
Johnson
Kareem
didn't exist.
Abdul-Jabbar or Tim Duncan. Who talks to who? If LeBron James was a 1 seed and got bounced by an 8th seed, you know how much that would get brought up?
We be talking
Or
about
being
that,
up
like,
3-1 in the
about that
series and
every time we
getting
talk
bounced.
about LeBron. You
Yeah.
said what?
Like being up 3-1 in the series and getting bounced. I got you. Yeah, stuff like those kind of things.
Right.
'Cause they
You
weren't
see
on
how
tape.
Swiper just
Yeah.
slighted Kobe and he was a
No, I was
17.
just talking in general. Like that happened multiple
No,
times to
facts.
like,
I
multiple
agree.
players. Yeah, it just wasn't social media
I'm just bringing context,
Well,
full
I
context.
just think
to
like
the
so many of your
conversation.
favorite players that you're attempting to prop up actually have so much reverence
I'm not
and
propping
respect.
up anybody.
Well, I mean, I believe one of your favorite players is Kobe Bryant. Am I incorrect?
That's his guy. Yes.
That's
I
your
mean,
guy,
listen,
right?
He just said
What
in
gave
chat
it
that
away?
Kobe better than
Yeah,
MJ.
Well,
What
here's
gave
the
it
thing
away?
though. But here's the thing.
not a prop-up?
Kobe called Michael Big Bro. He would never disrespect Michael Jordan.
Everybody
Okay.
called him Big Bro though.
What does that have to
No,
do with
not
me?
everybody.
They was calling him
Most
out
people,
early.
You meant to be like
but-
Kobe, Real
but
Talk.
most people didn't have the type of relationship with Michael Jordan where they can call him up and ask them to break down their plays from the previous night and give them tips.
Well,
But Kobe had that kind of relationship with Michael Jordan, and
Who
I
said
think
Michael isn't great?
I mean,
Who's not
You're-
acknowledging
you're-
Michael isn't great?
I mean, are you kind of
Real
going?
I do-
Talk
I
thinks
do
Real
like
Talk
that.
has him.
Probably-
Do you have him
second
as a
all
top
time.
10 player?
Yeah, he does.
Who?
He
Michael
does.
Jordan.
Yeah.
Duh.
Yeah.
Real Talk has MJ second all time, for anyone wondering. Unless it's changed in recent times.
No, I have LeBron, Mike.
And then Kobe
Kobe.
somehow. Yeah. So I'm saying we
But
can
you
we can
just said
move.
Kobe is.
We
is
don't
better
have to
than Michael
revisit-
Jordan.
Better, but that was
We
a
don't have to
greater
revisit
list.
this conversation. Yeah, because
Different list.
yeah, this has happened multiple times. I think it is good to get through the fast breakdown because I do think there are a lot of good games. I think Anthony Edwards deserves to be praised for who he's been this year. He's shooting 4% better from mid-range chills, so that's good. He's shooting 41% from mid-range this year. That's a lot better than 37% last year. So he's
Yes.
gotten a lot better. I think he's just a fantastic player, man. Like he's everything you want in a player on the court, from like tenacity, leadership, like aggression, never fades away from the moment. He developed a jumper. I didn't think he was going to have a jumper when he first came out.
You talking
Like
about
one of
Ant?
the best 3-point shooters in the league.
Yes.
He's great. He's a great
Yes.
player. Yeah, shout out Real Talk, man. I mean, that's your. If I had to rank the Anthony Edwards lovers up here, it'd be me. It'd be Shieldon, Real Talk, probably. It's probably the list.
Yeah,
I love
I
Anthony
told
Edwards. He's
Chill not too
fantastic.
long ago. Hey, you gotta expedite that timetable that you got for Ant. I truly believe
Might be this year.
I already have him as the 4th best player in the world right now. I truly believe, because when we get to ranking and then we put numbers on it, that to me that doesn't
I was
always
doing a good job.
signal like what level of player that you are, right? Because
Right.
for me, although whatever ranking you have between Giannis, Jokic, and Shea, to me that is the upper echelon of the NBA. That quality of player. And I'm saying I think Ant right now is in the tier with Luka. I think they're Luka and Wemby and Ant to me are the next tier down as far as just level of player. Just throw out the ranking of number. But I'm saying by next year, Chill, I think Ant will be in that tier with Shea, Giannis, and Jokic. Now, could he be the worst of that tier? Sure, which would still mean he's still just the
That doesn't
fourth
matter.
best player in the
That's
world.
still,
But I'm saying he
right.
would be that echelon of player.
Yeah, bro. Definitely. I do want to ask you a question because it's Saturday as well. Sure, y'all saw this game on Twitter because didn't watch this game. Why would you? The Nuggets played versus the Wizards in that game. Jamal Murray had 42 points without Christian Brown, Cam Johnson, and Jonas Valanciunas in that game.
Sure.
And they got decimated the next day because they didn't play anybody. Jamal had 42 points that game. He had 6 assists. He was 5 of 8 from 3, 15 of 24 from the field. And Real Talk in particular, I want to ask you this. Jamal, since January 1st of this year, I think he is currently averaging, now it went down because they got blown out yesterday. He's averaging 39 and 4 to start the year off, 52, 42, 89 splits.
We're halfway through the month already. We already halfway through the month.
Yeah, man. That's
could Jamal Murray be player of the month? Can we do that?
In the West?
Considering.
What is Shea doing this month? Let me look it up.
Considering.
Yeah, there's
like
always that
considering
guy
what Jamal Murray has been doing.
Shea this month has been 30.5, 5.6 and 3, but he's shooting 48, 30, 90. So Jamal
Anthony Edwards just passed Donovan Mitchell, and he's in the top 5 in scoring this season, by the way. Over the weekend. He just passed Donovan Mitchell.
Anthony Edwards.
But go ahead, Chill. What were you saying about Jamal?
Well, I was thinking we could get back to because it looks to me like Jamal Murray, for one of the few times in recent years that he's actually been healthy. Like, he hasn't been healthy over the last couple of years. So a lot of the stuff that was hampering his game was because of his health. Pull-up jump shot, getting downhill, stuff like that, his ball handling. A lot of that stuff was because he didn't have that lift on his shot. He didn't have that burst because he couldn't get by guys. Well, he's doing a lot of that stuff now. And on top of that, his ability to distribute, which I didn't give him nearly as much credit as I should have, has just become better this year. It just looks like it's a lot better. So I'd be blown away if Jamal Murray, at minimum, didn't make the all-league team. I think he's going to be an all-star.
Right now, Jamal Murray is scoring. He's scoring the same amount of points as Shea and Anthony Edwards, but he's doing it more efficiently than either, and playmaking better than both of them. Just for context.
So what are you saying?
I mean, I don't know. Like, I don't know what to think about it. Like, I'm saying I don't know what to
tell me.
You actually know what to think about it. Swiper. You can say it. Do you think he's playing, to your point, Swiper? Do you think he's at this particular moment? I ain't even talking about the whole season. I'm talking about at this particular moment. Do you think he's playing better than Shea?
I think this month, I think he's been a top 5 player this month, but I don't know what that means. That's just a stretch of basketball, so it doesn't mean anything for like a long-term season. But he does deserve. I think he deserves credit for what he's doing right now. I do think there's a level of shot making he's gotten to. Real talk. And I'm sure Mars has watched him play a little bit in Penn and Intel. There's a level of shot making and playmaking he's gotten to, which is like,
it gets tricky, man, because when you got a guy like Jamal Murray doing what he's doing, and you got the Denver Nuggets. What did the Denver Nuggets? I think they 7-3 since Joe went out the lineup. 7-4 since Joe went out the lineup. This is really becoming a problem for his MVP case. And the reason
we don't got to do that.
He's not gonna play the games. He has no MVP case.
Okay, so he's not going.
He could be back tomorrow, but we'll see.
I just think that the reason why I'm saying this, Swiper, is because I feel like what Jamal Murray is doing. I feel like what Jamal Murray is doing in terms of getting Aaron Gordon back, Jamal Murray being the catalyst scoring wise for helping this team, and Peyton Watson, by the way,
he's
being Peyton Watson,
another
what can I say about
prospect over there,
American prospect, by the way. Real talk.
Yeah, no, and I say that to say that even with all of the stuff that they filled up over there in Denver, to have these guys playing at the way that they're playing, and for Jamal Murray to be at the catalyst of this, I think it says a lot about how good this Denver Nuggets team is, man. It does.
Yeah, I'll say to be fair, because he asked me directly, I think he's having a better offensive January than Shea right now. I think that's fair. That makes sense.
Players can play better than other players within a month. I don't think that's ridiculous.
Absolutely.
I think you could play better than somebody for a stretch. Yes. I mean, we were up here having a conversation. Mars would attest to it. But between March and April of 2025, What was Jalen Green looking like, Mars?
And Jamal
It was
since
2024,
Jokic,
but yeah,
without
Jalen
Jokic-
Green-
2024. I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
Without Jokic
I'll
this
never
year-
forget. I'll never
Yeah,
forget.
2024.
Without
Got robbed
Jokic
of that
this year,
player in the
Jamal
month.
he's currently at 29 points per game, 5 rebounds, 9 assists. He's shooting 50, 42, 91 splits since without Jokic.
That's impressive, man. Now,
Is he at
now,
50.9 on the
balling
season?
out of control.
Is he at 50.9 on the season?
What? Oh,
yeah.
no. The two.
Yeah.
I think the field goal percentage is probably holding him back.
but see, that's where the separation comes when you're talking about these players, Penn. When you're talking about these players being great and they
At
become
49.
ahead of this
Yeah,
player,
I
this
get it.
player. Can you continue to do this? Can you continue to play at this level? And on top of that, when we get to the postseason, can you raise your level of play? Right? Because it's one thing to be awesome for a couple of weeks. It's one thing to be awesome for a month. Can you continue to play at this level? And can you continue to do it for? That's why I have a difficult time putting guys in conversations when they've only done it for a short period of time. That's why I have a difficult time doing that.
If they get this Jamal in the offs,
Yeah, it's wraps. Yeah, but it's going to be hard to do that though. But I do think the thing that's been good about this stretch is the Nuggets, and Adelman talked about this. They have had to throw so many different lineups out. They're playing like DeRon Holmes, Zeke, Tim Hardaway, and Spencer Jones, and like Jalen Pickett. I mean, they're just throwing stuff against the wall, and just trying to see if they can find lineups to work. And so I do think that will help them in the long term. But I think for me, I've just been so impressed with Jamal because I know a lot of Serbian fans in particular. They were like so concerned about like he's not going to be able to do this, and that. And I just think he's just turned into like. I mean, this is everything that you wanted for him coming out of Kentucky. I think, if that makes sense.
I think we also leave out the fact that Jamal Murray has been in the league. What is it? What do we mean? We have to be. I think this is year 10, Brand, right now.
I think 10 or 9, one of them.
He showed up in 15 with Joker.
10.
Yeah,
You're
he
10.
in 16.
You're 10. He turned in 16.
Was it 16?
16. Yeah. 10.
Book showed up in 15. I apologize.
Yeah.
So that's where I got that. I got that screwed up. So he showed up in 16. So we're in year 9.
Mhm.
So that's I think that's the thing that people. I mean, we're in a space with Jamal Murray. What is Jamal Murray? 27.
He'll be 29 in February.
29. Okay, so I mean, we're around this kind of like it's not a coincidence that
He's playing the best ball of his career at this age. Like,
at this age, it's not a
But
coincidence that he's doing that.
In on 50, 40, 90. That's
Pretty incredible.
Absolutely. I want to go to ballpoint real quick because when we talk about Denver, right, you have Jamal Murray playing absolutely phenomenal basketball. Aaron Gordon is having all-star level impact as a forward that can space the floor vertically and horizontally now with his shooting and can attack mismatches and guard multiple positions. Now you also have a blossoming Peyton Watson, who's now all of a sudden a 20-point per game scorer, right? Who is also having a really good defensive year this year as well at the point of attack. Then you also have 3-and-D specialist Christian Brown. Is he back yet, Swipe?
No, he tried to come back, but his ankle injury still bothered him, so they kept him out for a little bit.
Okay, so but he'll be back as well. And then not to top it off, Penn, you also have the best player in the world according to most. So
And Cam Johnson not playing right now either.
Give your thoughts,
is
Penn,
out.
on like how good do you think the Denver Nuggets are, and what exactly are their expectations for the rest of this season? When healthy, of course.
You're asking me?
Yeah, I'm asking you.
Yeah, I had him coming out of the West.
Okay.
I did too.
So that was my preseason prediction. And seeing the ascent of Peyton Watson, one of my favorite players in the league, knowing what Jokic is going to do, knowing that he's not the type of guy who's going to disrupt anything when he comes back. He's obviously still going to be the best player in the world. I think they have a really good chance. They have a really good chance to come out of the West.
Do you think they would have lost 10 games at this point if they were healthy? Because that's 14 now, but obviously a lot of that's just, they were paced. They were 12-3 before AG and CB went out, and then they just kind of like. I
hear what you're saying, but you guys were also like dropping games,
bad teams, and all that. Yeah. So I do hope. I just this team they've been really good. Obviously, I think when they're healthy, I do think they should be. I think the best team, but it's just
they're the best team in the NBA.
Yeah, if they're healthy, obviously that's just. But for what the Rockets just lost their starting quarterback at the end of the game, going to the AFC Championship. So is Nathan McKinnon going to turn his ankle now for the Avalanche having the greatest season of all time? Like I don't know why this is just it's whatever. So then another game we had, Los Angeles Lakers versus Portland. Real talk. Do you want to talk about that at all? Obviously, that game you did not have Luka Doncic.
Game
No
that no
Luka.
one played. Yeah,
no one played.
Yeah.
So
I don't
it
know
got
if you want to.
ugly.
You don't have to talk about it if you don't want.
Yeah, it got ugly very quickly. But we can't talk about the Liquor game that happened yesterday.
Yeah, well, I'm gonna get to the Sunday games here in a second because it was a really
we could
good
just
game.
play the Raptors every game. We'd be 82-0.
That, by the way, y'all, did y'all watch the OKC Miami game?
I saw parts of it. I didn't watch it in its totality though.
Yeah, SGA had 39 points, 12 and 19 from the field, 13 and 13 from the free throw line in that game. He was actually exceptional. And then off the bench, they had Aaron Wiggins and Mitchell had 18 and 15 combined. But, bro, Bam Adebayo, 30 points, 12 rebounds. Andrew Wiggins, 15 points, and he had the game-winning 3, I believe, pin. And then Fontecchio off the bench at 13. Myron Gardner, if you don't know who that is, had 11 points off the bench as well. Larson had 16 points. Norman Powell, 19 points, 5 of 12 from 3. That was a really, really good win by Miami.
Yeah, the reason they won is very, very simple. OKC couldn't get rebounds. It's just it's literally that. For anyone wondering, Miami took 111 shots. OKC took 77.
Dang.
21 offensive rebounds to 5.
Yeah, you don't win that way, and it's not a free throw disparity. Before someone's like, oh, free throw. No, both teams took 28 free throws. Miami had that many extra opportunities to score. That's the reason they won the game.
Wow.
It's really that simple. 23 plus 11, what's that? 34. Miami had 34 extra scoring opportunities.
When you give a team that
Miami
many
only had
opportunities to score,
turnovers,
you're not going to win. You're not.
So Miami had four turnovers to OKC's 15.
Dang.
Which is obviously shot opportunities, and then they had 21 offensive rebounds to OKC's 5.
And we can't use the logic. Well, J-Dub got hurt. Well, they were winning games without J-Dub, so we can't use that. That logic.
And they only lost by 2. So if you're OKC, you say it took a team taking 250 million more shots than you to win by 2. That's the optimism. The pessimism is that your team. This is I think back-to-back games. Your team can't get rebounds.
Did iHeart play this song?
No.
I mean, he's their best rebounder. So
yeah, it was Chet and then Jalen Williams is like their other rebounder. Yeah, like their team lacks like high level rebounders.
Chat Anthony Edwards is shooting 41.9% from mid range. I'm looking at it on NBA.com right now. This is not non-restricted.
I don't think that's true.
I think
42%.
One thing I want to add to that.
Let me get to my demon facts. Go ahead.
Was the fact that I don't know how many of y'all had like caught up on conversations. That's the only reason why I cared about the game. Apparently, Chet said something in an interview about the Miami Heat arena, talking about he likes playing there because it's usually quiet and like all you gotta do is start whipping their team and like nobody's gonna respond. It's gonna get quiet. It's an easy win. And apparently, it felt like they took that to heart that game. And apparently, the talk was Chet was just getting dogged the whole game from my understanding. I ain't get to watch the whole game. So from what I've seen, it looked like he was getting dogged. I was seeing him getting blocked, seeing him getting boxed out, couldn't get rebounds. It looked like every time he touched the ball, it seemed like they were putting extra attention on him. I don't know. And then ironically, Bam has one of his best games of the season. I think he cared. Personally,
I mean, when Bam make 200 million threes, yeah, it's kind of tough. But I don't think Chet was bad. I think Chet was altering a lot of shots at the rim. He was like Miami struggled to score on their first attempt. It's just anytime Chet altered a shot at the rim, no one else is there backline to help him get the rebounds. So he's trying to protect the rim, rebound, and then Miami ends up getting like 3 opportunities to score. But like for example, Bam was 6 for 10 from 3, but 9 for 22 overall, which means he was 3 for 12 on his 2s. So it's not like so it's like when Bam making 3s, it's gonna look great, but at the end of the day,
okay.
And Miami's
and if you think about it too, Mars,
from the field, so
and if you think
they got a lot of opportunities.
That I mean, I feel like that was the difference in the game. No second chance opportunities, and outside of Chet, if we're being honest, they don't really have a lot of size.
We're talking.
They go Casey. They go Casey Wallace, Shea, J Dub. They go Casey Wallace, Shea, J Dub, and Lou Dort. That is not a big team. That's one big guy.
Rebounding been a problem with them. We've said for a while. We said, is it 24? We said rebounding was like their Achilles heel, and then they obviously got Hartenstein to like kind of alleviate some of that. But when he's not there again, it's like, yeah, this is the team in 24 where rebounding was their biggest weakness. Like you have Chet, who's not a great rebounder. He's fine, but he's not great. And then no one else on your roster is someone who you really trust to like secure rebounds consistently. Like Lou Dort's not a great rebounder. Kaysen's not a great rebounder. Shea's not a great rebounder. And you don't have a bunch of size either. So it's not like you can just alleviate some of that with size. It's like you don't have many great rebounders. So ending possessions is definitely going to be.
Well, what they tried to do also too, Mars, that during that time was they tried to supplement it by gang rebounding. So instead of just like one other guy rebounding, they tried to supplement it by gang rebounding, which worked in some instances, only except when you run up on teams that are bigger than you and they also gang rebound, which is what the Miami Heat did when you got guys like Fontecchio going to the glass at 6. I think he's like 6'8", and Khalil Ware and Jovic going to the glass. I mean, that puts a lot of strain on your small lineup. I think that was definitely something that hampered them.
That was something they were able to do last year, I know, because they had so many games without iHeart and Chet last year. They were able to go small and still collectively rebound. I think actually last year their rebounding percentage, if I'm not mistaken, that the small ball lineup I think had a higher rebounding percentage or something crazy like that last year.
But the next game we got to, just for the second time, y'all, we got the Suns 106-99 on Saturday over the New York Knicks. So shout out to the Suns, man. Devin Booker 27 points in that game. Royce O'Neal 10, Mark Williams at 14, and then on the other end, OG Anunoby at 21, Karl Anthony Towns at 23 and 11. They did not have Jalen Brunson in this game, but that was a really good win by the Suns. They continue to keep pace, and to be able to get to Penn's game on Sunday, in Real Talk, this would be a nice little segment. They played, and it was 117. Oh, no, sorry. That's the other game. My bad. The final score of this game, stuff moving, it was 110-93. The LA Lakers were able to win this game, and Brandon Ingram had 19 points. He was with 6 rebounds and 7 assists. Scotty Barnes had 22 and 10 and 21 from the field, 9 rebounds, 3 assists, a steal as well. On the other end, LeBron James with 24, 7 assists, and then Luka Doncic, 25 points. Real Talk's not your favorite line, 8 of 23 from the field.
What is up with this
7
dude,
assists
man?
in this game. But I did see that the
He
Raptors
made
were up.
threes. He made threes.
Yeah, he made 5 of them.
Look, the
I
Raptors
did see the
just
Raptors
can't
were
hit
up.
threes. The Raptors just can't hit threes. And they were up, I think it was like 77, 76, something like that. And Colin Murray Boyles goes out, and that was it. That was the game. Luka hits his hand. The hand was already taped up. So Pylon playing a little bit of defense. Maybe the world would be better off if Luka doesn't play defense, because now we're losing our only center right now. And that was curtains for us, man. We had to play Jonathan Mobo the rest of the way. I don't think people understand like how poor this team is shooting right now. Like the Raptors are the 30th out of 30 teams. They are 30th in the league in 3-point shooting right now.
What are the Lakers?
They're the Orlando Magic of last year. I think the Lakers are 28.
Let's look it up.
Yeah, I just
Lakers
know
are
we're
24.
also
Lakers are 24.
we're also asked at that as well. It's just the fact, it's very symbolic how the Raptors just cannot get a dub on the Lakers. I feel like
I think it's very symbolic that you should
I feel like
take your
that,
glasses off and realize how many people
and I
were
also
out
feel like
for
I
the
wasn't
Raptors.
talking when you were talking. I was not talking while you were talking.
Okay, Dale Earnhardt
But
Jr.
you're about to be
relax.
emotional and have these outbursts when I'm just trying to talk about the game.
No one's being emotional. You just
well, why are you talking while I'm talking then?
Well, because you're about to get off a bunch of bullshit, and
No,
I don't think that people watch this game.
I
Well,
listen to your bullshit. I listen to you tell me how if Boyles played, you won.
Well, we were up, weren't we not?
Right, you're up a point, Penn.
Okay, and then we proceeded.
Right.
To get
So,
smacked by nearly
anyways,
20.
there was a lot of game left.
Bro, there was 14 minutes left in the game
after Boyles got hurt. And by the way, we had already been winning during that game.
See, the very fact that you're calling him Boyles tells me you're a casual.
Yeah, absolutely. I am a casual on your
casual.
mid-ass team. I don't give a damn about the Raptors. Y'all are trash. You've been trash, always will be trash, and you're mid. Nobody cares about the Raptors, ladies and gentlemen. You know why?
Yeah, I think the whole country of Canada cares, but
shout out to them. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to them. But very symbolic about the game.
Is this why you breathe so hard?
I know. Wait, time out, because I want to talk about the game. Luka last night wasn't great from the field. However, I will say this is one of my more favorite Luka missing shot games that I've seen in a while.
What the hell was that?
That's swipe, I guess. I don't know. But I think that he passed the ball fantastic last night. I think he was very good as a playmaker. Bron is absolutely still great in transition. Marcus Smart showed up, on both sides of the court. And I also believe that DeAndre Ayton had one of his best games of the season this year as well. I know Chill is always saying how we need to get DeAndre Ayton more involved, but I think that comes with his participation in the game, right? If he's going to play with energy and effort, then yeah, let's involve you. But until then, if you're going to go out there and play like one of the softest players in the
Real
league,
talk, he missed a shot yesterday.
He didn't miss a shot though. He didn't miss a shot.
He missed a shot yesterday.
Didn't miss a shot. What he's good at, he's very good at.
Him,
and I've always said that. Play finishing, he is statistically one of the best play finishers in the league.
God.
That is just a fact. But
okay. If the Raptors were ever healthy when we faced y'all
did Austin Reeves play yesterday? Who's better, Boyles or Austin Reeves?
For their team construct?
We were missing how many players? We were missing Jacoby Walter. We were missing RJ Barrett. We were missing Jakob Poeltl, our only center.
Yeah. And if you combine all those players, it's still not as good as Austin Reeves. And the last time we beat y'all, Luka didn't play.
That's not how shit works, bro.
How does it work?
The last time we beat y'all,
if you're missing 4 players, right?
Are you going to ignore what I just said? The last time we beat y'all, Luka didn't play.
I've been trying for 3 hours, bro.
Yeah,
and Bron had 8 points.
Yeah, he did. That was in Toronto, by the way.
My point is when you
hold on, real talk. Take a breathe break.
Like,
as you
y'all can hear me?
Like depth is such a weird concept. The Raptors have a bunch of middling. I'm sorry, real talk. I didn't interrupt you.
Oh my God! What do you mean? Let you speak?
As you were saying, Pen, keep going.
Have a go.
Keep going, Pen.
I'm sorry. Was that an impression of me?
Pen, keep going. Because I think the thing that we haven't tackled
was that an impression of me, Mr. Real Talk?
About your Toronto Raptors, the thing that we have not tackled about your Toronto Raptors is the gaping hole that you guys have in the middle of your offense, and that's your big man. That's the thing that we need to tackle by the time we get to the trade deadline.
Yo, this is MLK Day, y'all.
Because you have not dealt with that, Pen. I mean, all the other stuff that you have, I feel like it's manageable. Because
RJ Barrett going downhill creates opportunities for shooters to be better. Okay. Sure. RJ plus Jakob Poeltl unlocks spacing for the Raptors. When you take those guys out, what you end up with is Emmanuel Quickley running around with a chicken with his head cut off, not knowing how to run an offense. Brandon Ingram, Scotty Barnes, the spacing nightmare that is, right? These guys just can't get to the rim right now because, one, they're just not fast enough. They're not fast enough to collapse the defense. You got Jamal Shedd, you got Jonathan Mobo, you got so many non-shooters that play for the Raptors. So again, you can make an argument. Yes, Austin Reeves is the best player who didn't play yesterday. I'll agree with you. I'll 100% agree with you. But what is the cascading effect of having to play Jonathan Mobo at center against DeAndre Ayton? And what does that do for shooters like Marcus Smart? What does that do for the entire defense? Now, I know that Real Talk doesn't know about my team. I didn't realize he didn't know about his own team too. So that's just messed up. So doesn't even know about the sport that you're trying to dissect and talk about, bro. Like I mean, how much
I know we're good enough to beat you all the time. I know that. When's the last time y'all beat LA?
Can I be done? Like, my God, we talking about one of the youngest teams.
You see how you did that 3 seconds too long that ruined the bit. But go ahead.
It's not a bit.
When is the last time the Lakers
like legitimately? I'm clapping for you, dumbass. Like, I don't really know. Like you got
clapping for you.
You got a.
I'm clapping for you. Wait. Raw, in a different context.
Focus. Swiper.
You got a 41-year-old star aging out. You got a 26-year-old who moves around like he's 38 years old. Yes, I understand. Right. Congratulations.
So you can't talk bad about my team when we whoop that ass every time we see you.
How about teams are in different evolutions? They're in different places. You guys are competing for championships.
If we see you in LA, we whoop that ass. If we see you in the street, we whoop that ass.
First of all, they whoop ass. You can't even.
Last time the Raptors beat the Lakers in 2022, December 7th.
So
exactly.
So this year be 4 years. So we got to wait until next season.
Yeah, we've been whooping that ass for a long time.
What happened between 2014 and 2020? You just forgot that, huh?
Who cares?
Who cares? Was it a different evolution? Was it a different time? Like, my God, this my team is better than your team. Shit is so dumb.
All right, next game we're getting to. I appreciate the diatribe, and I appreciate the back and forth between the two people. You said what?
I'm gonna match his ignorance every time. I'm not gonna
You got to climb up
When they
18
go low,
flights of
we go
stairs
high.
to match
Swiper's
my
doing that with you.
ignorance.
I'm gonna go there with your dumb ass every single.
Both of you, I really appreciate it. Hit the silencer on both of y'all. I really appreciate it. We're going to move on to the next game. I personally think that both the audience and most of us enjoy watching you two go back and forth, because it's always respectful. You all love each other at the end of the day. Penn, you unmuted your mic. I think you should do it. Next up, do you know what the most ridiculous question I got asked last night? Which is fine. It's fine, by the way, because it's
Bo Nix playing next Sunday. That would.
I was doing an NBA show. What'd you say?
That would be the most ridiculous. If you got asked, is Bo Nix playing on Sunday with a broken ankle? That would be the most ridiculous question.
Whoa.
Yeah, it's over.
It literally just happened. That's crazy.
That was a good season, man.
Should the Memphis Grizzlies keep Ja Morant for Ja Morant having a good game yesterday?
You said what?
No. Do you think the Grizzlies should focus on keeping Ja Morant? Because the Locked On Memphis Grizzlies people were like, if you can just get this, Ja Morant, it's better for both of them to stay. He had 24 points. He was good. He had 13 assists. He was a plus 26.
He had a rare great shooting game.
Real talk, we breaking up. But
that was your team that go fried. Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, it was bad. I was hoping
that was bad.
that game.
Yeah, that was terrible.
But Intel, did y'all not just fry them 2 days ago in Germany? Did y'all
We
not
did,
do that?
but y'all was on the court, so it don't feel the same.
Oh, okay. I get you. So,
Well,
but
statistically,
real
they've been
talk,
a lot
this is
better without Ja this year, so maybe it should feel okay.
Real talk, this is the classic case. This is a classic case of we breaking up, but we went out on a date to see if we could save this thing, and it went really well, but we still breaking up. We are. Yeah. We still breaking up. Ain't
Absolutely,
it was weird.
Absolutely.
Chill, it was weird. It's like he was happy to play for them randomly just yesterday. All season he acting like he don't like being on the team. Yesterday he's smiling, dapping up teammates, high-fiving people, talking to the coaching staff, smiling. He ain't never been doing this all season. I don't know. I guess he just loves being in London. I don't know. Maybe that's what it is.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. They need to get out of there. Chill, personally, if you ask me.
Mars brought up an interesting point, and he kind of stole my thunder when he talked about them moving on from him to the Miami Heat. And I'm thinking they got their offensive coordinator in Memphis, in Miami. That's not going to work. Why would they bring him down to Miami to put him in the system that he was failing in? That doesn't and especially what they're going to have to give up to get him, because they're not just handing him over to Memphis. Is not just handing him over to Miami for a bucket of extra crispy and a 6-pack. That's not happening. No, they're going to have to give up something substantial for him to make the money work, and in terms of players, and for this thing to materialize the way it would just be I think it would be bad.
Yeah, I don't think they should do it.
What?
Real talk, bro.
That's out of pocket, gang.
Crazy person from Real Talk. But we got 42 super chats. I want to make sure I respect everybody's time. By the way, MLK Day is supposed to be a day of service. So if you do have an opportunity to serve at maybe at some point this week, your local community, you should definitely find a way to do so. But shout out to everybody that's involved today. Get to these super chats. We got Alan R. 978 $5 super chat. We shooting 40% from 3 over the last 10 games. 77 FC. We back in it soon. And go Patriots. We'll see you in the bowl game, Ron. Real talk. You feel good about Luka shooting lately?
Absolutely. He's been shooting the 3-ball very well lately. So I appreciate that. That's been the one positive spot about this team, because we actually have been struggling lately. We haven't been really beating teams outside of the sorry as dinosaurs. But other than that, we have been struggling. And we dropped one to the Kings. That was tough, but Luka played well in that game, in my opinion. So, yeah, the 3-point shooting is definitely progressing to the mean, as many would say.
Yeah, that was a good game. We're going to keep it moving. Got some more $10 super chats here. Drew Noseball, $10 super chat. Remember, KD went to Golden State when the greatest shooting backcourt ever was in their prime, and he was keeping up with them in practice and games as a shooter. KD is a top 3 scorer ever and has a case for one. I think Marge would agree with that.
I do think that.
He's a top 3 scorer ever?
Well, that he is in conversation for number 1 overall.
Yeah, it just depends on what you value. I think you can make the argument. I also think he's a top 5 shooter ever, which I guess, I don't know. Maybe that's
a hot take. I don't know. But
Well,
yeah.
shootings and
Pause. When you're
consistency
talking
is
about
backcourt, so-
when you're talking about shooters, right? When you're talking about shooters, you think he's a top 5 shooter. Give me some of your shooters that you think are in that conversation with him. Curry.
Well, no, Steph's in a conversation by himself. Steph's,
Okay, so forget Curry.
but
Okay,
yeah,
Curry's not in
Steph's
that
by himself.
conversation. Okay, so
But
Curry,
then you got like
Ray Allen,
the Ray Allens, the Reggie Millers,
Reggie Miller,
the Klay Thompsons, obviously. I would have Kyrie in those conversations.
Irv,
Damian Lillard,
Dame. Okay,
Kevin Durant, obviously. I would have Steve Nash in those conversations.
sure.
Who else? What other shooters are there?
Kyle Korver.
I wouldn't put like the Kyle Korvers of the world in these talks. I would James Harden maybe because of like the degree of difficulty. Like jump shooting is so much more than just like making threes at a high clip to me. Like it's overall jump shooting, it's free throw shooting, it's the mid range stuff, it's the degree of difficulty, it's the off the dribble. Like it's all of that in conjunction, which is why I think KD's. Oh, Mark Price for sure. It's why I think KD's top 5. It's not just because like if it's just purely 3-point shooting, yeah, he's not top 5. But like the overall art of shooting the basketball, yeah, I think
off the dribble, closeouts, catch and shoot. Does it matter? Does it matter when I'm doing it? So like when we get in the clutch, when we get in the playoffs, or we're in the regular season and we're playing against some of the better teams in the league, and how efficient I am at getting it off.
I mean, I think that probably should play a part in it.
Sure.
I don't know clutch numbers really for it,
Yeah.
but it should like being trusted and like reliable, like to make shots and like all that stuff. Yeah, I think KD top 5. Yeah,
I just think I have a difficult time, and I'm coming around to it. By the way, right? I'm coming around to the notion of there's a difference between a shooter and a scorer, and I can put both together. Right, both can be put together where we have a shooter, a scorer who is a shooter. And KD, I think he falls into that line. Michael Jordan, for example, is a shooting guard who scores. I mean, Jay can shoot the basketball, right? James Harden, he kind of gives me the scorer who can shoot more than the shooter who can score thing. With James Harden, I feel like. I think it's more with James Harden, his downhill stuff. And I'm thinking about a younger version of James Harden. I'm not thinking about the James Harden today who can't blow by people, even though he can, get his shot up over guys. I'm thinking about the younger James Harden. But when I do discount KD as a shooter, and I definitely have to stop doing that because his ability to shoot on 3 levels as a pull-up 3-ball shooter, as a catch and shoot 3-ball shooter, as a pull-up mid-range shooter, as a catch and shoot mid-range shooter. He's phenomenal, and I definitely think that we can have conversations about him. Now, there was a name that you didn't bring up, and I think you didn't bring that name up because of volume, and I think that's Bird, because I think Bird is one of the better shooters.
Oh no, Bird's an all-time shooter to me as well.
Yes,
for sure. I just forgot. Bird's an all-time shooter for sure.
And it happens. People forget. I forget too. So,
yep. Another $10 super chat. Raja Almighty.
That's what it looks
Make sure
like.
I said that correctly.
Mm-hmm.
$10 super chat, 5688. Y'all see how the Hornets was guarding Steph and how he said it's not real defense and Dre said it's gimmick defense. How talk or y'all feel about that?
How y'all feel about that? I mean, I kind of
I said the
agree.
same last year about the Lakers defense, by the way, so it's not uncommon.
I don't
seen
think
teams do
box
that
and
to
one's a
Steph.
gimmick. So I don't think it's a gimmick. Like they just don't want Steph to touch the ball, and I don't even think it was a bad strategy. If Draymond Green gonna score 20 and Gary Payton gonna do what he did, just like I guess like they didn't. The bench is what beat them. The starting lineup with Steph, like they weren't dominating the Hornets with this strategy. I don't think it's that deep, to be honest. The team is trying to blunt the offense, especially with no Jimmy. Why not try to take their best player out of the game?
You see Steph's comments about it?
What did he say?
He kept it real. He said, he's like, on the one hand, I don't really respect it that much because I don't think it's real defense, but real basketball. But at the same time, it's kind of flattering because you realize how much gravity you have. And I've seen teams guard stuff like that before. I have. It's just it's not new, but it's interesting.
Well, Drench calls basketball like junk basketball. So stuff like box and 1, triangle and 2, that's called junk
defense. Yeah, junk defense.
That's called junk defense. But I mean, if we recall, SGA Houston played a box and 1 on him a couple of nights ago. It didn't work, because they ended up getting smoked. But I mean, teams.
Well, they only held SGA to 20. They nearly kept him. They nearly ended the streak.
You know what I hear is Jordan keeping it real.
Right.
Jordan's keeping it real. Steph's keeping it real. KD's keeping it real.
Well, when you,
no one should want to go against junk defense, but like, because it's not fun. Like, you want to be in the game, and junk defenses take you out the game, and
literally
all of that stuff, and then it's hard to get a rhythm. Like, but that's the point of it. And when you have no other real offensive threats on the floor, which is what the Warriors. Shout out to Draymond Green, 20 points. But like, realistically, Charles Lee's game plan was take Steph out the game, and we don't think these inferior offensive players are going to cause too much damage. They happen to cause too much damage that game. It is what it is. But like, I don't think it's a problem. Like, you're trying to win the game.
That's what you do, Swiper.
That's what
you tip your hat to Draymond Green. You tip your hat to these other guys. Make shots, and if you do that, absolutely, you want. Because
I mean, it definitely it gets to a point though when you look at your roster. Remember, we had this conversation last year after the Nuggets lost to the Lakers when Jokic took 5 points through the first 3 quarters. You shouldn't be able to guard elite players like that. But that just shows you the roster issues, which I completely agree with Mars. That like, if you're a coach and you're a front office member, like, there's no way you should allow your team to get guarded that way. $10 super chat from Kai's World 3. Ant is the top 3 scorer in the world, but I'm supposed to believe he's not top 5 because he's not an elite playmaker. LOL. Who does everyone think is better between Ant and Wemby?
Wemby.
I'll answer this because I've been saying Ant is better than Wemby for a while. I also believe that Ant is a top 3 scorer in the world. I don't know. Maybe that can open up for a bit of discussion.
Who are the 3? Shea,
Jokic, and Ant.
But you think
Ant a better scorer than Giannis now? You think Ant scored a ball better than Giannis?
Yeah.
But you think Ant can catch SGA because you think a 3-point volume is what could get him there?
I just think because of his athletic tools. I know we've tried to like act like athletic ability and athletics doesn't matter, but Anthony Edwards, yes, Mars, you'll be surprised because I've been cast you just love athleticism guy. Yeah, I don't know. You tell me, but Ant's athletic ceiling and the way that he's able to use it, the way that he also attacks off seasons with such consistency and obviously gets better year in and year out. And he always goes into an off season saying, hey, I'm going to get better at this specific thing. And then he comes back better at that thing. It's actually amazing. The previous season, it was like, yeah, I need to get better as a 3-point shooter. Comes back, best 3-point shooter in the league. It's like, oh, I guess, bro. And then this year, he's like, oh, I need to be a better mid-range shooter so I can have some adaptability to my offensive game. And if you look at his post-up numbers, they're off the charts. He's averaging over, I want to say, like 1.2 point per possessions in post-ups now, and a lot of
Let's
those.
Look it up.
Has Ant scored the basketball this year better than Leonard?
Yeah.
The level Kawhi been scoring?
Kawhi been hooping, but I'm saying yes.
I'm thinking about to your point, because I think that with Anthony Edwards consistently adding the mid-range into his game, I think that's put him a level above certain people, right? I think that
he's at 1.11.
Yeah, I think that he's gotten himself into conversations like that. However, I mean, when I look at Kawhi Leonard and his ability to get to spots and let the defense set because he's playing so slow and he's not rushing and it just looks so easy for him at this point, I think Leonard has been scoring better than him this season, but it's not by much. I think Leonard
his jump shooting's been incredible this year.
Yes,
we'll say that.
Knocked down.
He's one of the. I think I looked this up the other day. He's one of the 6 best pull-up shooters in the NBA this year. Leonard is. So like he's having a phenomenal shooting season himself. Another $10.
And is shooting like 41.8% from 3.
Oh yeah, I'll have to look at the
I also think he's been a little bit more consistent than Kawhi Leonard this year. I think Kawhi kind of started the season a little slow and then picked up his game. Whereas I do think pretty much every time Ant has stepped on the court, it's been
25 like every time, apart from like the games.
Yes.
He's been a model of consistency while also being a model of accuracy at the same time. So
among players that are
shooting, the same thing about Donovan Mitchell too. So
the best shooters this year in pull-up among all players that are taking at least 9 pull-ups a game. Jamal Murray's 1 with 56.2% effective field goal percentage. SGA is 2, 56.1. Leonard is 3, 53.1. And then 4, 5, 6, 7, 8th is Anthony Edwards at 50.3. So that's all, 50 and up is obviously insane. So everybody's just having a lot.
You think
really
Jamal
great
Murray's
shooters.
a better scorer than Anthony Edwards?
I think Jamal is a better shooter because he's always been a better shooter. I think this Jamal has reached a different level though. I think that's just like I said, I didn't expect this to happen. I knew he'd be good eventually, but that's a crazy.
Averaging.
Actually, I can say the same thing about
1.44
Donovan Mitchell.
points
You know
per
how I can say the
possession
same thing about Donovan Mitchell because
You
according
said
to
spot up shooting
yes,
too.
I
Yeah.
can say the same thing about Donovan.
Yeah, he's the outlet for them.
Say the same thing about
I'm
Donovan.
shooting 50% on his spot
Yes.
threes this year.
Yes.
Yeah, and he's also scoring crazy in the clutch too. I don't know what the exact numbers are.
Yes, and now that
85%,
right there,
is it
He might
85%
win
of
clutch
his
player of the
players
year
out
this
there?
in
year.
the NBA.
yeah,
He might win clutch player of the year this year.
He should.
He's never been top 3 either, so that again another significant improvement for Ant in the awards.
yeah.
Tupac
This
Westside
combination of athleticism and skill we haven't seen since, and I'll let y'all fill in the blank on that.
Kobe.
Tracy McGrady. Yeah, Tracy McGrady. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, right, Tracy. That's what we're talking about.
Athleticism and skill in the 2010s.
No, he's talking about Michael Jordan.
Damian Lillard.
Athleticism, Russell Westbrook.
Damian Lillard.
I thought. I mean, Dwayne Wade.
Dwayne Wade,
is super
yeah.
skilled. Yeah.
Mhm.
Wade.
But Damian was a more skilled
Kept
shooter,
all the
and he was
floors.
super
He was
athletic
right
in this
to the
young.
point
So I
guard.
feel like that's can't pass him up.
I was thinking Russ in terms of the
Russ,
athlete.
respectfully, Russ wasn't in Dame's class as a shooter, but definitely for sure. Tupac Westside, $10
KD's
super chat.
athleticism and skill. I don't know.
I think KD versus Jordan scoring is a great conversation, but I think I'll give the slight edge to Jordan, even though KD's a 3-level scorer. MJ can put a similar or better numbers without shooting much of a 3 ball. Now that is 100% true.
For Anthony Edwards to get
His
into
numbers are
Michael
bad.
Jordan talks,
Right,
he
for
needs
sure.
to first pass Dwayne Wade talks. Then we can talk.
So
mean,
before
yeah,
you,
yeah.
so Penn.
That's
before
normally
you-
how progression goes. Yeah, you
Yeah,
normally
I
have
was
to pass the lesser players before you get to the better players. Yeah.
I mean,
That's
typically
normally how
with
it
some
works.
of us, we take the elevator up to the 23rd floor.
Didn't you take the elevator on SGA up to Kobe?
Yeah,
but
he passed everyone
I
else.
passed a
apparently.
lot of
Yeah, he had
a lot-
passed
I
everyone
passed a lot of
also
places.
already.
get
Well, and that's not a slight either.
I
But
was
I think we
quick,
all
too,
have.
by the way.
And me, you know me. I'll take Jokic up the elevator. Like,
Oh, we know.
We know.
Oh yeah, we know that. Matter of fact, it wasn't even the elevator.
hey,
You
rocket
put,
ship.
you put him on his back, and you went on the stairs.
Hey, wait, you talking Lord of the Rings? Sam, and
Ran
Frodo? Like,
upstairs.
I'll take us there, Frodo.
Yeah.
Damn.
But Chill do that with Tatum all the time. If Chill maintained this level over these 3 games or the whole playoffs, he's the best player in the world.
Do that with
Okay,
Chill did
that's-
do
Chill
that.
what? No, Chill, don't defend it.
Number
No,
one,
don't defend it.
Number
You
one,
put
was-
him on a rocket ship.
Number one, that was one time.
No,
You
it wasn't. No,
consistently do it.
you
with
you
Jokic.
said real
you
talk. I
do
don't
it
know
on
if
the
you were
regular
here.
when it comes to
Ben,
Jokic.
you remember this? If he did these 3 games, if he
Nah.
does this over the
But not
whole
only
rest
was I
of the playoff,
there,
One
I
time.
egged him on to say.
Yeah, one time. Yeah.
whole rest of the
Really?
playoff, Mars, he said, what did he say? He gonna be the best player in the world. Talk. And you had to
He's
press
gonna be
him.
the best in the world. That's
Yeah,
what he's saying.
you
He's
had
gonna
to
be the best
press
in the
him.
world.
Yeah.
Tatum fandom doesn't make me dislike Jason Tatum.
But you like Chill a lot though. Like, so I think there's some of this.
You
is,
do
like,
too. You like me,
personalized.
but you
No, but
still-
he likes you to the point of like when he wants to get a point off and he feels like we're because of how he views me at times, which is not a bad thing. And real talk, he'll be like, "I'm talking to only Chill and Mars here. I want you all to hear what I'm saying," and then boom, boom, boom. Because what did you intellectual curiosity? So when he does intellectual curiosity talk, it's Chill and it's Mars.
You do
And then when
understand
it's
what-
not intellectual curiosity
The
talk,
reason why
it's
he
me.
does this with you is because of how you view Joker. He gets sick of it. That's why.
But I can view Joker in a similar way he views SGA.
Wait
No.
a second.
I think Penn views Jokic similarly to how
Ben
Swami
is
views
a
Jokic. We know
Jokic
that.
guy.
For sure,
yeah. And Real Talk views the way I view Jokic is how Real Talk views Kobe.
Yeah, probably.
And the
I've-
way
I've-
and the
I've-
way-
I've had
whoa,
to
whoa, whoa,
deal-
whoa, whoa, Pin. And the person who glazes the utterly most on this platform. I don't even view Jokic the way he views Jalen Green.
Good.
What?
You
I
can't.
mean,
By the way,
Yeah,
questionable
you
for tonight.
Nice.
We might be back.
Nice.
We might be back.
Well, the last time we
Yeah.
saw him, he looked really good.
And then
Exactly.
Getting ready for that trade
Ron
deadline.
doesn't have anyone he holds allegiance to. It just depends on the weather. Like it just literally depends
Oh,
on the
Russell
weather.
Westbrook is definitely Ron's.
No, he doesn't hold on to Russ either. No, because he'll
Russ,
Hallie,
Trey.
Russ, Giannis, like it all falls off the map. Like, it
Kareem?
just-
He does hold Kareem up there.
I feel like his
if my Bill
Kareem
Russell
like
stuff is a
Mars' Bill
gimmick,
Russell.
Ron's Bill,
Yeah, they're both.
If my
gimmicks.
Bill
It's
Russell
not
stuff is
real.
apparently a gimmick, Ron's Bill Kareem stuff is a gimmick.
That's a
No,
gimmick.
I wasn't necessarily saying that. Swipe. I know. Like sometimes our brains scan for threats, and you sometimes view me paying a compliment to somebody else as an insult to you. So you maybe viewed me saying that towards Chill. I was actually also talking about myself. Sometimes the way I talk about Scotty Barnes gets people who like Scotty to kind of dislike Scotty because it's really annoying and very repetitive and maybe over the top. And I think that sometimes fandom can take on that, area where your fandom is so toxic around a player that the line between the player and the fan becomes so weirdly blurred. And I'm just saying with Chill, whether it be Evan Mobley, whether it be Donovan Mitchell, whether it be Jason Tatum, he's never made me dislike any of the players that he really likes.
Chill was irrational about Donovan Mitchell last year. Irrational. Yes.
You see, well, again, that's an opinion.
When we,
I don't think
when we had conversation,
he was on a 60 plus win team.
No, but right? no. Chill. When we had the conversation about him last year, when I said,
were you irrational about
Darius Garland was better? Chill would.
Because Darius Garland wasn't better than him last year.
The spirit of Donovan Mitchell would like.
Okay, did you watch the playoffs? Did you watch the playoffs?
Yeah, he was Donovan Mitchell. He
Donovan Mitchell was way better.
He was clearly hurt. But I also gave my reasons why I thought Darius was the most important player on the roster. But we don't have to go back.
No, I understand that. But I'm anyways. Like my point was merely to pay a compliment to somebody, not to insult you. I don't know if that came through in my compliment. Maybe I need to put a trigger warning on my compliments. The following compliment, saying like, I want to just say this thing to Mars is not an affront to every single person up here. Maybe I just want Mars's opinion. Like sometimes have you not said, Penn, what do you think of this? That's not an insult to everybody else, is it?
I think it is the way you structure the conversation going into it. But it's actually not a big deal because you're right. I can absolutely internalize things because I am a human being and I know that I have flaws like a lot of other people. More flaws than most, actually. DNE $10 super chat. If we're shut up, Mars. If we're era taxing MJ, it might be close. Otherwise, the answer is just MJ, GOAT score, averaging 18 field goals a game in his prime. Ain't doing it for me. I'm empty to clip FC.
Between that super chat and then the other one that was like, who cares that MJ couldn't shoot the three? I don't know if y'all realize
the three,
this,
though.
but
That's
you're
the
like,
difference.
I'm not doing that.
You're era taxing Kevin Durant for like.
Why are people going at Bad Bunny in the chat? By the way,
that requires him to shoot threes.
It's the biggest artist in the world right now. Yeah. Anyway,
the KD volume stuff is
just go watch. Just go watch MJ play. Just go watch MJ play. It was a special.
Mars, you remember when they was doing this for Jokic? When it was like, well, Jokic is only efficient because he doesn't shoot the ball like that, and then he started shooting the ball more, and it was the same thing. But now he just averaged more points. Yeah, it's kind of weird.
Yeah. But
it would literally be the same thing.
At least with Jokic, you would at least find single-digit games. You can be like, yeah, look, Jokic on his no shooting gimmick. At least you can do that. Yeah. Like KD's no shooting gimmick is, man, KD had 25 on 14 shots. This fake outrage. Like, I don't understand. Like, and I said this months ago.
Well, if he shot 20 shots, you would have had 40.
We had the same conversation. Amongst anyone who's played more than 750 games in the regular season in the modern era of basketball, only one person has scored more points than Kevin Durant per game. It's Michael Jordan. In the playoffs, anyone who's played more than 75 playoff games in the modern era, only one person has averaged more points than Kevin Durant. It's Michael Jordan. Amongst anyone who has played at least 10 finals games in the modern era, only one person has averaged more points than Kevin Durant. It's Michael Jordan. In the playoffs, the only person who has played at least 75 games and averaged more field goal attempts than Kevin Durant is Michael Jordan. Like, Kevin Durant is at the top of all of these volume stats, whether it's points per game, shots per game in the playoffs. If you want to look at it like from an efficiency standpoint of true shooting, the only 25 point per game scorers who are more efficient in the regular season or playoffs per true shooting than Kevin Durant is Steph and Jokic in the playoffs. That are only two people with a higher true shooting than Kevin Durant, averaging at least 25. In the regular season, it's no one. Now, if you want to do relative true shooting, you'll find some other names in there for sure. But like, I don't understand it. Like, I'm not saying KD's a better scorer than MJ because I don't think he is, but I don't air attacks. If you air attacks, like, it makes perfect sense that you'll say the most versatile scorer who is only behind Michael Jordan in volume is the best scorer ever when you add in the layers of complex defenses and then the versatility, the 3-point shooting. Like, it's not it's not unfathomable that someone would say KD's the best scorer ever, especially if they're accounting for error attacks, which I don't think is the wrong thing to do.
I'm starting to hate that term, by the way, because it's getting error attacks is now getting dismissed or is getting perceived as hate, right? Or in a negative connotation.
Error context. Error context. Is that what
yes,
call it?
it's context to stats and play style. That's all it is.
People do understand that unless it's Michael Jordan. I will say that people understand error context when it's Bill Russell. People understand error context when it's the pace of the game in the 70s for Kareem. People understand error context.
I'm going to move on to the next super chat for the sake of the time, so I can respect the amount of money that people have given to us on this great day. Jordan Reed _901 $10 super chat. There was a lot of good basketball this weekend, and also a lot of belt to A's this weekend. But that Wolves and San Antonio Spurs game may possibly be the game of the year. Ant and Wemby put on the show. That's one of the games.
How much free throw Wemby shot at the end? They just missed it on purpose.
Swiper, I know you were just kind of thrust into the host seat, but Ron sent me a list of topics. We were supposed to do comments of the week today, as well as all-star starters to be named.
Man, we have 19 minutes, and you
we don't have any time. We have to do the super chats. We can maybe they can do that tomorrow.
We suck at our jobs. That's kind of it. We suck at our jobs. But
he also was supposed to host today. So
by the way,
make sure we bring that up. I'm just saying, like, this is the topic list that I got. So
no, we'll have to get to the super chats.
We failed talking about MLK, and that's never a bad thing.
And then you started arguing.
And arguing about the Raptors.
W ball out highlights $10 super chat. I heard people kill Charles and Shaq for criticizing the game of today, but yet I'm watching people on the panel turn around and do the same thing they were mad at to the games in the past. That was during Real Talks segment about Magic Johnson and all
that. Absolutely. So the kind of person I am is that I'm not the kind of person that says, when they go low, we go high. When you go low, I'm going right there with your ass. So if old people, and again, it happens all the time on this platform, and Ron wanted to start the discourse with, it's so much more easy to score today. Okay, so if we're going to just say that about Kevin Durant, then let's start shitting on some of these other people then. Yep, I'm going to do it every single time. Absolutely.
I don't think I
fire with fire.
I don't think I shot on the old era. I'm just gonna speak for myself.
You did, but it's cool.
I definitely don't think I did.
You're right. I
said what happens. I don't think
exactly.
if me explaining what was happening is shitting on the era, then you think the era is shit. That's the only way I can explain it. I don't think the era is trash. I just said what was happening in the era. But if you took that as me shitting on the era, you think the era is shit. That's the only possible explanation.
Got cooked. Hooch never stopped. $5 super chat. KD best scorer ever. Skill, efficiency, versatility unmatched.
I can see that.
Again, I think the consistency just goes unnoticed, right? Like KD is one of the most consistent, not just superstars, just like people associated with the NBA ever. If he don't like you, he don't like you. He not doing interviews with you if he don't like you. He not inviting you onto his podcast if he don't like you. He's just a very consistent human being, and I really appreciate that about Kevin Durant. If there's a media dude that he don't like, he's just not answering questions with that guy. He'll give it to him straight.
That's the thing from 2026.
But that's what they call that. That's called being real. KD is very much a keep it real type of dude.
And I've invited you to my podcast, but you've never done this because you don't like me.
Absolutely.
Good to know.
By the way, that's the thing for 2026. I don't with nobody that don't with me.
But you know what that response was? Real talk. That was real.
That was real talk to real talk. Right.
Not fact. We'll just continue to do the bottom line episodes that outperform all of your videos.
I'm not.
No. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
You don't have a single video with over 1 million views.
I'm not talking about you, fool.
Everything is about you, Swiper.
1 million views.
Everything is about you, Swiper.
Pin. You ain't got a video with 1 million views either. So Pin ain't gonna say it. I'm gonna say it for you.
I do.
I do. No, that's what I'm saying.
I actually do.
He's talked about it before.
No, I know. Pin.
Yeah, that was Swiper's defending.
I appreciate that. Thank you.
Oh damn.
Solidarity.
All
right.
Yeah, casual real talk. Love Love for dinner.
Absolutely.
Love for dinner. $5 super chat. I would like some love for dinner.
Yeah.
And it's now 85% in the clutch this season. If your top 5 doesn't have it in them, it ain't valid. Also, Ant Wemby will be 1 and 2 in 2 years.
I don't know. It's hard. I don't know how to project. Like, I've been wrong about Ant's projection the whole time. So anytime I say, "Oh, I don't think that's gonna happen," it ends up happening. So I guess, sure, cool. I'm gonna keep being wrong.
Real talk. What did you call me? You didn't call me wrong. You just called me early.
Okay.
The new line.
Hey, what's to say that Jokic doesn't keep getting better though? Yeah, we're gonna, that's what I'm saying. Like at some point, it's like we're respecting this. So maybe, definitely, there's definitely a possibility.
Pretty sure that early wrong thing is my catchphrase, but
is that you? Is that?
Well, I'm pretty sure I've heard it from like other human beings, but
I mean,
Bill Belichick kind of said it a little bit.
But it's like when Jordan came up here and he what was the term that Jordan came up with here, and he
psyop.
You call it junk ball?
No,
which one?
It's not junk
the
ball.
Misused term of psyop.
No, actually,
you trying to psyop me?
No. He brought us some.
Junk ball.
Bias optimism.
There we go.
Bias optimism.
There you go. That's it.
Yeah,
that was a good.
I'm not wrong. I'm early. That thing, I've definitely heard myself say it up here first.
All right. Well,
but I do listen to myself talk more than I listen to y'all talk. So
you're trying to nerdify the game. Nerdify. That's the word I'm going to use. Nerdify. You're trying to nerdify the game.
Jordan gave us so many gems.
Swiper trying to nerdify the game. Swiper. I'm so
trying to
tired
get
of
his shield back.
I'm tired of Swiper. I'm so tired of Swiper trying to nerdify the game.
Why are you talking like that?
That's how he sounds. That's exactly how he sounds.
That's not.
Maybe it's my hearing loss. That's exactly how he sounds to me when he talks. Because I can hear higher pitches than I can hear lower pitches. Nerdify the game. All right. Move on to the next super chat. Next one up is we got Edwin Gaming $5 super chat. Real talk. Were you the doctor's friend? The girl from Omar's. Were you the doctor's friend? The girl from Omar's video. Why don't you pay them girls tab?
I have no clue what you're talking about.
I don't know what you're talking about either.
Omar has a video.
I literally just saw the thumbnail. That I haven't seen the video though.
Does the doctor look like Real Talk?
I wouldn't say so.
Very round person with
I'm about to say already has. I mean, he was a dark skinned male.
Dark skin.
Dark skin.
I'm dark skin.
Hey, people have this conversation about what dark skin, light skin is all the time. Hey, brown skin.
Yeah.
Hey, listen, I ain't trying to
Swiper think me and him the same color.
But
me and Real Talk are 100% the same color. What is he talking about?
Next
What? Real Talk, put your hand up.
You just refuse to be light skinned.
Real Talk, put your hand up. Intel is light. Real Talk, put your hand up. Put your hand up.
You are the beige persuasion.
No, I'm not. Real Intel is.
But keep going.
Mars is.
As we were saying.
I'm tired of y'all doing this to me, bro. $5 super chat. Who's never stopped? Handshake argument so trash. You play defense with your feet, not your hands. If you put your hands on a player and you can't move, you're cooked. It's a lot of fouls.
People put hands on players today all the time.
Yes, they do.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, they do.
I personally think the paint is very difficult to score and still for bigs, but that's just my opinion on that. I think we overgas what the 90s and 2000s were in terms of paint scoring for bigs, but that's again my very small opinion. Unlimited Z Hoop Talk $5 super chat. Man, I watched Jordan go up, clap his hands, and get a foul call. Watch the game, y'all.
Please just watch the games.
I do say that when people talk about the 1990s, and I remember I pulled up the finals clip from Utah versus Chicago, and you watch the first quarter of that game. It's a very different basketball game. That game was very, 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 very bad.
Is that the one that went viral on Twitter?
Yeah, it went viral. Yeah, it's not a great basketball product at that point in time. See, we got another.
Say that though. See, I don't want to be. It's probably too late, but I don't want to be coin that guy either. Really, I don't hate Michael Jordan. I really don't. I think Michael Jordan is phenomenal. I think he's a phenomenal player. I really do. I think there are old players that are phenomenal.
Hate that era though. Real talk. You 100%.
I don't hate the era. I hate how it's been romanticized and how this era is always shat on. That's what I hate. But
is it not fair to say you hate romanticism as a whole?
You said what?
Is it not fair to just say you hate romanticism?
No, if Kobe was romanticized, he'd be loving that shit.
Yeah, real talk. Name a love movie you like that ended well.
You said what?
Name a love movie you like that ended well.
A love movie I like that.
Don't say Dead Presidents. Everybody died.
No. Just right.
That was the fakest movie of all time. A 6-foot power forward. Common playing power forward at 6 foot, chill. And then he left Paula Patton
No,
in the 2000s.
for Queen Latifah.
I like Queen Latifah, but Paula
I
Patton,
do
boy.
too, but
When I
not for
found
the
out Robin Thicke was married to her, I said, "Bro, you better not mess it up." And sure did. He messed it up. I would never do it though, Paula. So just let me know.
Did you see Jump in the Broom?
Yeah,
Boy, you saw that early scene?
yeah. Hey, bro, you know who Paula Patton is, Mark?
As you were saying,
Swag made us move on from the MJ topic because we had no time.
No, I'm moving.
Movies,
I got it up now.
Yeah, when it comes to movies,
You
Swag
know
wanna
Paula
talk.
50, right?
I don't care.
You don't care?
No.
Did you like her in Deja Vu? She was gorgeous.
That was her debut. She was in her 30s.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, late 20s.
Who was Darius Akuf?
She was 31. Yeah.
He's a prospect.
He's a plays at
Darius Acuff.
Arkansas.
Oh, okay.
He's a guard.
Okay, so we got some Darius Akuf propaganda.
Yeah, Trent 80
I can get
83 $5 super
that.
chat. Y'all sleep on Darius Acuff. I'm gonna continue pushing the Acuff propaganda. Yeah, he's good.
Okay.
He is a good player. Shout out to him.
All right.
Hope we get another super chat by the 2000s movie. Unlimited Z Hoop Stock $5 super chat. I'm so glad I started watching games from prior era, specifically the 80s. Man, they were just running up and down the court. The difference was no threes. Yeah,
The 80s was a track meet. That's what it was. The 80s was a track meet. And then if you get in the half court, we're gonna throw an entry pass and then watch our post player do something.
To be fair, I did.
That's
see
why the
Celtics
triangle was
were
so
running-
innovative.
The Celtics were running pin downs and stuff, by the way.
Yeah, they
for,
were.
Bird, and he was movement.
Yeah, for the
shooting
greatest
in
softball
mid-range,
shooter ever at the
stuff
time.
Like that.
That's why the triangle was so successful, because it was so innovative. Like, you really put the defense on their heels.
Yep.
Danny Ainge's really good at that as well. Danny Ainge's a really good player.
And then Trent 8083 $5 super chat. I hate the J-Dub hate, even though he was playing bad. I see Lou Dort, but J-Dub, I'm sorry, I can't. Yeah, J-Dub is having not the greatest season. Yeah, the injuries have really got to him this year.
Yeah.
He just hurt his hamstring. Huh?
Yep.
Yeah.
That looked
DSG Piccolo $5 super chat. Klingon FC, we up. Swiper, what Bama gonna say about the Texans losing? He couldn't see it happening. I told Bama going into the game they're not gonna be able to score. CJ Stroud is mid.
He looks like a deer in headlights, Swiper. He looks like a deer in headlights.
He's been mid the last 2 years. A real talk joined on the bandwagon because
Caleb is better than him.
That was below mid.
A lot of people
was below mid.
Yeah, he's horrible.
Caleb, in my estimation, is better than him.
He is the what's your name? Michael Carter Williams of the NFL. He peaked as a rookie. That's literally what he did.
But also, I told you that Josh Allen guy, you was trying to glaze him the other day. Fugazi, but it's cool.
No, he ain't Fugazi. He just got outplayed by a better quarterback.
Fugazi.
Bo Nix.
And you was like, no, all these numbers. I was like, has he won? Interesting. Once again, no winning.
Well, you should love him because he's like your favorite player in the NBA right now.
Interesting.
I'm very happy that Ron had technical issues though, so we didn't have to hear him blabber.
Chill's happy as well. Yeah, Chill's happy as well.
Yeah, he didn't give it Chill today. Chill, he was on the show. Exactly. Yeah, they came on the show yesterday, so shout out to the both of y'all. Liam McLean, 1773. We read this one already. We'll get rid of that one. And then we got another one, $5 super chat, J-Mo Fit. Chill, who's your top 5 QBs of all time, Chill?
Brady, Montana, Manning, Brady, Montana, Manning. Who am I thinking about?
Elway.
No, not Elway. Aaron Rodgers was better than him.
No, what?
Yeah.
No ball.
And Aaron Rodgers was better than him. But here's the difference. I think Drew Brees was better than Aaron Rodgers, but I'm gonna keep that to myself.
All right, yeah, I'm sorry, bro.
I'm gonna keep that to myself. But I'm gonna say
somebody didn't watch Elway or was an Elway hater back in the 80s when he played with nobody.
Patrick Mahomes died?
Yeah, Patrick Mahomes is obviously a top.
Oh, that's right. That's the one that I forgot about. I'm sorry. I knew I was forgetting somebody. I was like, wait a minute. So yes, from the top.
Oh yeah.
I was like, I'm forgetting somebody. I'm glad you brought that up, Moss. So again,
I know. What can I say?
Again, Brady, Montana, Mahomes, Peyton Manning, and
you said Aaron Rodgers.
And
why we not finna disrespect?
No, I can easily have this conversation. I would love to do this.
And
DSG Piccolo, $5 super
I'll
chat.
be on there Wednesday.
Player of the month, probably between Jamal, Denny, and Shea right now. They love PRA in this league. That PRA thing. I don't know who started that, but
Speaking of PRA, we seen Jalen Johnson recently.
yeah.
Interesting.
He did Tyler Hero. Remember Tyler Hero did the same thing. Started the year off great, and then downturn.
Interesting.
Yeah, man, but it can't happen. He's not an all-star yet.
He will be
we got
all-star.
Astro Boy,
He'll make it. Yeah, he'll make it.
37.68, $5 super chat. Wemby is the fourth best. Easy. Don't know how you can see him go band for band with players offensively and be way better defensively, not have him top 5.
Absolutely.
Wemby started ramping up the 3-point volume again. That's gonna be interesting to see how that stays.
He's doing some mind-bending stuff out there. There's like 1 or 2 plays every single game that's just like, what?
I don't know how you watched the game between San Antonio and Minnesota though, and like the takeaway was, or I don't know what you have Ant on the list.
Ant was the best player on the court in that game, I think.
Marginally.
Hot take on maybe. I don't know.
Yeah, I would agree, but I guess I don't know.
Wemby held his own, man.
That's why I gotta say.
Wemby was amazing. Wemby was amazing, especially in the minutes restriction. Yeah,
like it was a gap, like here, like what Chill does. Like it was like right here. Wemby came up better. The Spurs won.
I just want to say, Josh, if you're listening to this, brother, I just want to let you know the criticism that you get right now. Don't worry about it, because John Elway was a loser for 13 years. He wins back-to-back Super Bowls. He's top 5 all time.
Mm-hmm.
Just put that out there. I just want to let you know.
John Elway carried. He went to the Super Bowl 3 times.
Not only did he go to the Super Bowl 3 times, he was part of the worst Super Bowl.
Lamar Jackson which
was his third loss in a row. The Super Bowl in the 8th period. They lost to great teams.
And he was a loser for 13 years. That's what he was.
But Josh Allen hasn't been to a bowl.
Right, exactly.
That's not all his fault, though.
Yeah,
right.
I'm not doing this on the show.
I see how this is.
All I know is Peyton.
All right. Goes $5. AG was just an athletic power forward in Orlando and spent time with Jokic, made a much smarter player. Another reason Nikolai is great. Watson is so lucky. Yeah, I mean, he definitely got better next to Jokic, but Jokic is for sure benefited from AG.
I think Aaron Gordon's progression as a player is because of Nikola Jokic.
I'm not gonna say Jokic boosted Aaron Gordon's intelligence.
IQ, that's crazy.
No, he definitely got better, but I think they have a symbiotic
pick up
relationship.
things from your teammates. Like we have all heard that thing that you are the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. I think maybe this is not a conventional thought or something I haven't heard a lot of people say. I think playing with Kyrie Irving really helped Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum level up as players. I think watching his excellence, watching his work, I think playing with Kevin Durant is helping Jabari Smith.
Sure. Agreed. Prince DJ.
Shout out to Jabari last night. He was hooping, but
$5 super chat. Real talk and Penn arguing mid versus mid, getting all emotional, shaking my head. Yeah,
I'm really not emotional. I yesterday or 2 days ago said the Raptors are the 14th or 15th best team in the league when they're not healthy, and probably the 10th or 11th when they are. That's pretty mid. I'm not expecting this team to win a championship right now. I wouldn't expect them to win a playoff round. I'm not under any expectation that this team is supposed to be really great. They're exceeding expectations, and they go out every single night, less healthy than the other team, smaller than the other team, with worse shooting than the other team, and compete their butts off. This team has been a joy to cover. So it's kind of funny to me that I'm having an argument with a dude who rips his team all day. I don't say bad things about the Raptors. I say bad things about Emmanuel Quickley because I can't stand his point guard play. But other than that, I love this team. I love covering this team. It's been a joy all year. So shout outs to the Raptors, man.
Facts. Prince DJJ, $5 super chat. Real talk. You can ask for that. Penn can't say it. I told you Real Talk be starting it just like Penn. Yeah, Real Talk be starting it.
Yeah, Real Talk the problem. I agree.
Well, I did not start today, but
you the problem. You the problem.
The People's 23, $5 super chat. Hey, Swiper, prepare for that belt that's coming to y'all on Sunday. I don't want no running. Shout out to Adam Silver for those hamstring injuries.
He's just going to say Bo Nix is hurt. So I mean,
just going to say that your quarterback is missing in the NFL.
He is hurt.
I mean, yeah, I know, but I'm saying
they say it's social.
If CJ Stroud was missing, maybe it would have been a benefit.
They say it's social mastery to be able to say things without saying them.
I think New England's going to go into Denver and stomp them. I don't think they're going to beat you. I think they're going to stomp you out this weekend.
I think it's going to be close all the way through the fourth, and they'll lose because they won't have their clutch player to do the job. Weedy Jenkins, 3608, $5 super chat. Pin, I just wanted to let you know that I will hate the Crafters for life after that abysmal performance yesterday. You guys are in poverty. I lost my house.
Well, if you listened to me, you would have bet on the Lakers and won your house back. But hey, man, cool. Shout out to you.
Yeah.
Bandit Huncho, $5 super chat.
Lakers beating the Raptors. All guarantees in life.
Bandit Huncho, $5 super chat. Shills fandom is toxic. Saying JT better than SGA in the mid range and having better handles. Is
I know what he's doing. He wants he wants more clapping. Congratulations.
We're past that moment, Pen. We're past it.
Chill, your fandom was toxic last year.
I remember.
Chill, you did say that.
Yes, I did say that. Yes, I did.
Bill Russell's a better offensive player than who?
Hakeem.
Olajuwon. I was bugging.
That's still one of the worst things I've ever heard. But
Chill, when you get in your emotional bag, you'll say
I was bugging when I said that. Yeah, I was.
Magic Johnson a better scorer than Steph Curry. I remember that.
See
Chill, you've been doing less of that lately. You used to like double and triple.
Yeah, Chill's improved at not dying on hills.
He's not dying on these hills anymore.
Yeah.
See growth.
I was bugging when the Olajuwon Bill Russell thing. I was bugging when I said that. Yeah.
See, that's real. That's real accountability. That's wonderful. It's good to see.
I actually saw that and I was like, I can't believe you said that. What the fuck?
Yeah, I left Giannis off my top 10 scorers list. I mean,
like,
shit.
What? Did you really say that out loud?
This is why pencils have erasers, right?
Hell no, you ain't say that out loud. Did you? What?
You
don't even believe that.
And then $2 super chat. Jeffrey Toupee. He said, I can't wait for JT to be back and prove he's top 10. Again, reprove he's top 10. And then football breakdown, $2 super chat. Rodgers is not a top 10 playoff QB serial choker. He has a lot of chokes in the playoff, that's for sure. Cammy Cujo, $2 super chat. YB drops an album. Ja plays better. Notice it.
Just because you lose doesn't mean you choked. You just lost.
Rodgers
does not mean that. No, it doesn't. Just because you lose does not mean you choke.
Void Century, YouTube, $2 super chat. Ron, do not let Chill off easy, destroy him. I don't know if that's fair. The kickoff return to start the game, a bunch of injuries.
We got the best team in football if we healthy, but we not. That's why we got our ass kicked. Period.
For all the talk you do about Cowboys fans, every time I hear you, you sound like the Cowboys fans you say are delusional.
Here's the difference.
Just from my perspective.
Here's the difference. The difference is that I actually talk about my team in reality. Like, we actually do have one of the best quarterbacks in the league. We do have the best run. We do have arguably the best running back in the league. We do have the best tight end in the league. We do have the best middle linebacker in the league. We do have one of the best pass rushers in the league. We do have the best coach in the league. So all of this stuff gives me optimism.
So why do you never win?
Well, we run up on teams that are better. That's
because
why.
He doesn't have one of the best quarterbacks. That's everything else. We don't have we don't have the best quarterback in the game. But it's the difference. Quarterback play that y'all don't have.
We don't have the best.
You disrespecting Demon Brock Purdy?
That's the problem.
Absolutely,
we don't have the best quarterback in the game. We got one of the best quarterbacks in the game, no doubt about that. We just don't have the best quarterback.
Well, there's 32, right? So how many? Is one of?
What is one of?
How many is one of?
I think we got a top 10 quarterback in the game in Brock Purdy. Yes, I do.
I'd say 15 to be comfortable situation.
So you think he's mid?
So you think he's mid quarterback?
No, he's really good. He's really. I just think there's 15 really talented quarterbacks. Yeah, I think there's 15 really, really talented quarterbacks in the league. Honestly,
Mars, this is like the equivalent of somebody saying, like, we have Julius Randle. He's one of the best players in the league. And it's like, he's one now.
Close to the same thing.
But it's like, it's still Julius Randle.
Yeah, Brock is good. That's why people are calling him the Tatum.
Cool.
They're calling him the Tatum of the NFL because he had a super team and he was like managing a super team.
We just don't have we didn't have the best.
That's actually Jalen Hurts.
That's why I was so over. I was so over seeing Kansas City. I ain't want nothing else to do with them. I was good. I was like, I don't want nothing else to do with Pat Mahomes.
But who took down Kansas City this year and then took down Buffalo Bills and Josh Allen? And then McDermott gets fired. DSG Piccolo, $5 super chat. I mean, Penn, if y'all played the Bladers today, you sure you wouldn't be more injured? 7 MFs out last night, not including Dame. Caleb Love, rookie of the year prop?
Caleb Love again. He started the season, in my opinion, terribly.
You was off of him, Mars.
Yeah, it was bad. But shout out to Caleb Love.
Certain rosters are simply not designed for certain injuries. Like there are teams with one viable point guard, one viable center, and it's just like the Blazers have like 3 viable centers. So I think the argument that I always look at is
Who's the 3?
Robert Williams, Donovan Clingan.
You can say
Name
Son
Yang.
Yang.
Hell no.
I'm not- I'm
Who's the 3?
I'm not saying Henson Yang.
What, Reef? Dort Reef? That's the
Yeah.
third viable center?
He's viable.
Dewat plays.
Dort
He's
does
viable.
play.
He's viable.
Okay. Interesting.
I mean, it's just like when you compare these two rosters, how many players on the Blazers would have started on the Raptors last night? Honestly, like 11. It's a lot. Tumani would have started. Denny would have started. Again, when healthy, Dame would have started. Drew would have started. I would argue Hanson Yang might have started. Shit, you know what I mean? So it's just like it's really, really rough. These C's out here without Jakob Poeltl are really tough, man.
What's wrong?
It's just a roster construction issue.
Swipe
We
up.
have like 7 very mid guard wing players.
I'm ready. We got only a few more of the paid ones. Prince DJJ, $2 super chat. Josh Allen, it's James Harden. That's a little tough, but they're definitely interesting. OG's team, $2. Can we talk about the Bummer fraud Knicks? Yeah, they definitely.
I'm actually not concerned about the Knicks whatsoever. Really, they're having a rough patch right now, but
Yeah,
they're too talented of a team to not.
I mean, they're gonna be fine. They're gonna make the playoffs off home court. I still have my questions about them winning like a title with this roster, but
Will they win the Atlantic?
Beating OKC might be a challenge, but like
I don't think
even
they
with
whoever
Celtics
comes
have
out though.
like who in the East is still like better
No,
than the Knicks?
they're
Detroit.
capable of getting out the East even with their flaws. They're
I
capable.
still think.
But
Detroit's
winning a
gonna
title,
whip
I
them.
just don't see it in the on the cards. I just
Am
don't see
I stupid to think Detroit is better than them?
I don't think
In
you're
the
stupid.
Knicks? No, I don't think so. I think that
I think both teams have glaring holes that
Yeah.
can be exploited.
I just think
Now,
one of
can
these
they
teams is
exploit
way
against each other?
tougher than the other. Like, I do value toughness when I get into a deep playoff series.
that extends the series, the toughness.
Yeah,
Detroit maybe should have beat them last year. I mean, that
Yes.
series was close, and then
they
Jalen
should have been up
Brunson was
3-1
like
for sure.
And
Jalen
with-
Brunson was a big difference in the clutch, but that foul on Tim Hardaway.
well, if Cade doesn't shoot
criminal.
18% or 19% from 3 or whatever the hell he shot, like I think they win that series.
Yeah.
So it's just like,
yeah, but that's
you
the
know.
problem is that Detroit.
Well, yeah,
is
I'm not
so
going to do
dependent
that
on
because that's
Cade.
like more just like shooting, but like things
Yeah.
that were out of their control, like the Tim Hardaway foul, that's criminal. Like they were in that series
That was
very
a
much so.
awful foul.
Isaiah Stewart's hurt.
Yeah.
Like they were this close, and a lot of things went against them. So
Yeah.
like I think those teams are close in terms of.
I think the
A
Knicks
couple more
are
super
still
chats, y'all.
Mhm.
Dead off
visually
Smoker,
better
$2
than
super chat.
Detroit.
Shout out America's team. Next year is ours. Dallas Cowboys for life.
I don't do
Okay.
that. I don't do that.
Chain snatching, $2 super chat. I need Joan prop.
I don't know.
Oh,
what that means.
the All-Star starters just dropped.
It
Oh,
just
they
dropped.
did?
That's what they're saying.
Damn.
All-Star stars. There we go. Let's see. Let's see what it says.
So we were gonna have a whole segment prior to 2 p.m. about who these players would be, and they dropped while we were still on air. That's pretty great.
Where did it drop? Champs?
I don't know. We'll find it, I guess. It's probably him. Yeah, it's always him.
I don't see anything from him.
So guys lying to me. Ugh.
Mars, they got to pull up tomorrow to get that.
All right, cool.
Oh, the East. The East.
Y'all pull up tomorrow.
Shout out to
All
Tyrese
right.
Maxey, man. All-Star star. Shout out to Tyrese Maxey.
Chain snatching,
Where'd you
$2
get
super
it?
chat.
Chumps?
Did the
Chumps, 55 seconds
Timberwolves
ago.
win the trade?
Dope.
Yes, they won the trade. Rudy Gobert is makes all that work. Quan 103 became a YouTube member. Shout out to you. Nike Hendricks reposted the stream. Shout out to you. And then we also got Seattle Sports Pantheon member for 10 months. Shout out to you. Seattle, man, they probably should be the favorites to win the title. Captown Hoot member for 8 months. 41-6 reminds me of a certain 43-8 Super Bowl. I had the same thoughts. Exactly the same thoughts. Snowbird Sneakers member for 32 months. Happy MLK Day. Shout out to every city with the MLK Boulevard, which is most. Yeah, appreciate that. NYK Kareem just became a YouTube member 2001. That's interesting. Okay, just became one. Muhammad Abdurrahim in /Y5C became a YouTube member. Shout out to you. Alaikum salam. And then we got Snowbird Sneakers gifted 5 Players Choice memberships. Shout out to you. That's amazing. And then we got the Godfather 651 gifted 5 Players Choice memberships. Shout out to you. Appreciate that. And then we got Dylan Mo Money. Why? Whatever. 3293 became a YouTube member. Appreciate it. Always welcome. 2 Clutch Corey became a YouTube member. Appreciate that. And then Cultured Bandit, member for 26 months. Tell Kareem to tee up before we throw pork sandwiches at him. That's kind of mean. Shout out to you, though. Aiden F. with Cats became a YouTube member. Great. Appreciate that. We all love cats. Cozy Newton, member for 30 months. One of the best PC segments. It's MLK Day. Appreciate that. Had a great informative YouTube segment. And then we got Love for Dinner. Swiper is shooting 45, not 41. On NBA.com, it specifies short range, mid range, and long mid range. He's shooting 41% from mid range.
On Synergy, he's shooting 40. On Synergy, he's shooting 41% on his 2-point jump shots. So
yeah, so it is what it is. You can combine mid range shot. That's no problem. It's just it inflates some people's mid range shot.
Howard's stats this different because NBA,
they just
wrap them. His short and long mid are both like around 45%.
Well, no, I have to look at the numbers. I know NBA specifies between.
Well, short mid is extended. It's like it starts at like 4 feet.
It's like it's usually about usually you get to about 10 feet in short mid range, and then 10 feet to 15 feet is from the mid range, the short mid or long mid range to free throw line.
Yep,
it's about that next area. So
for them, they don't. To be fair, they don't specify like the foot or the feet, but
right.
They have short mid, he's 45.9%, long mid, he's 44.2, and then 41.8. So, I don't know.
Yeah, shout out. Delsky, $5 super chat. Keep Jalen Hurts' name out of your mouth. Dumb talk. Super Bowl MVP outplayed Mahomes twice. He did.
Yeah, and he was still getting carried by that roster. So shout out to him.
2K God, member for 13 months, 12 is back. Ja will be back in Premier PG talks.
No, he won't.
One game.
No, he won't.
Maybe, who knows?
That's love.
In fact, Bob, he was so carried by that roster that they literally pushed him in his ass for every touchdown that he was running in first down.
Josh Allen got five first
downs. Josh Allen does the same thing and doesn't get slandered for it, by the way. It's cool. I noticed that. Wow.
Bob Solo, $2, and his coach voted against the tush push, and they still used it. Bob Solo, $2 super chat. Giants head coach reading is fundamental. Go. Oh, was that about John Harbaugh?
Yeah.
But it said Joan in the super chat, though, didn't it?
Yes.
Okay. Shout out to you, Cowboy Bob. And then Rashad Harris, 2853, became a YouTube member. Appreciate it. And then finally, we got Ricky Klein, 3030, became a YouTube member. Shout out to you all. Make sure y'all like, love, and share the video. This is PC. This is the panel. We are on the way up. We will continue to have more and more great content. We'll have a whole nother episode dropping for you tomorrow. You'll get through the top 5 comments of the week, going through All-Star Game and everything tomorrow as well. That's Chill. That's Pin. That's Marge. And that's Real Talk. This is Swiper. Hey,
Peace, y'all.
Enjoy.
Later.
See y'all soon.